Welcome back to Second and Short. It is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. It is the new year, 2024. A lot of great memories from 2023, our first full year of Second and Short. Some big milestones that we've hit along the way. Of course, Colin joining the show full time in 2023. We made some horrible hot takes throughout the year. We had some big videos, all that stuff. Overall, it's been a fantastic year. Colin, how was your 2023?
It was great. A lot of ups and downs,
Yeah.
but more ups than downs.
That's good. That
And
is
we're gonna
good.
keep that we're gonna keep that trend going to 2024. But we're not off to a great
No,
start.
not off to a good start for Colin. Uh, in case you didn't know
Uh,
already, Michigan defeated Alabama in the college football playoff semifinal at the Rose Bowl, 27-20 in overtime. But we'll get into the details later in the episode because we had an eventful Week 17 in the NFL. It was all sorts of madness all over the league, tons of playoff scenarios entirely shifting. We also had a decent amount of MLB news, some surprising moves, a couple of guys that seem to be progressing towards making a deal, all sorts of stuff in the MLB, and a ton of other bowl games to talk about as well that occurred. Uh, Definitely not going to talk about the Orange Bowl, but we'll talk about some other bowl games. And then, of course, with how many bad takes we had in 2023, we'll get the hot takes started off in 2024, and they'll all be correct for the entire year. How does that sound, Colin?
that sounds amazing.
All right. Well, let's go ahead, get into NFL Week 17. It is one hell of a week. And typically, we just kind of skip Thursday Night Football, but this was a big one. So we're going to talk about it. Browns 37, Jets 20. The legend of Joe Flacco continues. But I will say, Trevor Simeon, not a horrible game for the Jets.
No, not at all. And same goes for Brees Hall.
Yeah.
But the story here is the Cleveland Browns
Yep.
clinching an unlikely spot in the playoffs.
Definitely. Definitely didn't expect it to come like this, especially. That now they're 11-5 and they've clinched a spot in the playoffs. And let's just kind of go down the line of this scenario this season for the Browns because obviously Joe Flacco is the biggest story right now in the NFL. Cleveland clinches the playoff berth with the win on Thursday Night Football. They make history as the first team in NFL history to make the playoffs after starting four different quarterbacks in the same season. And Flacco himself has led to one of the biggest surprises of the 2023 season. On this four-game win streak that they're on, Flacco has this offense averaging 31 points per game. And himself, he's recorded 1,362 yards and 11 touchdowns, has a completion percentage of 62.5. And on top of all of these QB injuries, they're missing running back Nick Chubb and have been for almost the entire season. They're missing three offensive linemen that started at the beginning of the season. They're missing their defensive end, Ogba Okonkwo, or Okoronkwo, and their safety, Grant Delpit. And all I have to say is that once this playoff run is over, there is a question to be asked. Is Flacco starting for Cleveland next year over Deshaun Watson?
He might be, honestly. So
There's a
one
real
thing
possibility.
One thing's for sure, PJ Walker's gone. He's
Yep,
off the roster
definitely.
next year. Um, the big decision is, do you stick with Deshaun Watson when he comes back, or
Yeah.
do you, because DTR just is not it right now.
No, definitely
He
not.
needs at least like 2 more years to potentially develop as
Yeah,
even an NFL ready
definitely.
quarterback. But dude, not just Joe Flacco, are we gonna see a couple vets return next season? Looking at it, like, because there's like some names like Matt Ryan, you
I don't
know,
know about Matt. I think he's done.
yeah, but it's just looking at Joe Flacco right now.
Yeah.
It can happen. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, especially after this year.
Yep. I agree. We'll
But
see.
yeah, no, if I'm Cleveland, let's see how Joe does in the playoffs.
Agreed.
I think that's going to be a big, like, if he can take them to an AFC championship, I think you automatically have to start an opening opening game next year.
We'll see. I don't know. It's going to be a difficult one, but to go through the rest of this game, Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt had pretty solid days. Jerome Ford, 12 carries, 64 yards. Kareem Hunt, 10 carries, 31 yards. Isn't great, but he got a touchdown in there. David Njoku had one hell of a performance. Amari Cooper left the game super early. I don't even think he got a target. Or maybe
I
he
don't
was
think
out. Was he
no,
out?
Amari Cooper didn't play. It was
That's
Elijah
right.
Moore that left the
Yes.
game.
Elijah Moore, horrible
Oh,
looking hit. Oh,
oh,
man. Like, got tackled and just went helmet first, like face mask first, into the ground and turned over and was like, you could tell his body was trying to stay awake by like
yeah.
shaking. It was brutal to
It
see.
it was very similar to Tua's injury.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Tua, his arms just curled up, but Elijah Moore is just like had like spasms
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. It brutal.
Was some scary stuff to see,
And he had a
honestly.
great
Like,
game before that. So he was
yeah,
doing amazing. 5 receptions, 61 yards, and one touchdown. He left the game in like the second quarter.
yeah. So the way it went, it was like the first drive, David and Joku.
Yeah.
It was all David and Joku. Second drive, all Jerome Ford. Third drive, all Elijah Moore.
Yep.
That's like Joe Flacco picked a person and was like, all right, we're gonna make you shine this drive.
Yeah, Jerome Ford had a fantastic day in the receiving game. 2 receptions, 57 yards, a long of 50, and 2 touchdowns on those 2 receptions. Amazing
Mm,
for Jerome
mm,
Ford.
mm.
And of course, Njoku, 6 receptions, 134 for him. I will say Flacco's got to figure out the turnovers. In the games he started
Yeah,
this season, I think he's got almost 11 interceptions, somewhere around there, maybe 9. And then he had 2 fumbles here. Didn't lose either of them, luckily, but still a problem.
yeah, but I mean, the Jets have one of the top defenses in
True,
the league.
true.
And he was out of football for a while, so it's very normal to see and he's a pass heavy quarterback, so
Yeah,
turn the interceptions are gonna come.
definitely,
But
definitely.
no, to just see one pick this game is definitely progress because we're used to two or three.
Yeah,
Just one is fine, perfectly fine with me.
definitely. And then on the defensive side, this Browns team was pretty solid. Obviously, the Jets put up probably more points than you would have anticipated, but they had some good performances throughout the defense. And then same goes on the Jets side. Their defense played okay, not great for sure. Um, but a pretty good work on their side. A costly fumble by Izzy Abanaconda. Um, just kind of not a lot of mistakes per se for the Jets, just simply got outplayed.
Yeah, outplayed and just inconsistent spurts is
Yeah,
when you look at it.
yeah,
But one thing is for certain: when Garrett Wilson gets the ball, the Jets put points on the board.
yeah,
Like he's that capable of driving an offense down the field when he gets the ball.
yeah,
And same goes for Brees Hall. Like Brees Hall ran the ball really well this game. 13 carries for 84 yards. And then he's always a factor in the pass game. Nine receptions, 42 yards, and a touchdown.
yeah.
So
He had a great game. But let's go ahead and move on to Saturday's single game, and it was a big one.
mm,
Cowboys Lions. The Cowboys get the win, 20-19, in pretty controversial fashion. It comes down to the Lions scoring a touchdown that if they would have just kicked the extra point, they would have tied it up, gone to OT. They decide to go for two. First time around, it all gets messed up. It was definitely weird. Okay.
you want to break it down on why it was weird?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So how it is? So they run a lineman route for the 2 point conversion.
Yep.
Number 60 it was 68, I believe. Taylor Decker. Um, Two linemen went to go report, but they said only one lineman had reported.
Yeah.
Uh, Number 70.
And
This
he's
and
not even the one that reported. That's the thing.
no,
So I think it was Gilbert was one of them and Decker was the other. Gilbert is the one that they said declared himself eligible.
yeah,
So but he was just talking to the ref
yeah,
as Decker came onto the field, and you can see him talking to the ref, like telling him.
yeah.
And then the ref,
He just says report.
yeah, and then the ref doesn't report him eligible on the play, but nobody really knows that. So the play is still designed to go to him. It goes to him. He scores the 2-point conversion. They would have won the game. They throw the flag for, an eligible receiver, and it stops the 2-point conversion. And then they get another try. Something else happens, and it just spirals out of control there as well.
Yeah, so it breaks down. So it backs him up 5 yards to the 7 yard line, and they were just gonna. Micah Parsons was offside,
Yeah, that's right.
neutral zone, and everything. So now they go back to the 2 yard line and run it for a third 2 point conversion, and then unfortunately it's just like a yard short.
Yeah,
Just could not get it. But if you know Dan Campbell, you know there was no way in hell that they were kicking the extra point right there. Like
yeah,
let's be honest. If you know Dan Campbell, because he's already clinched a spot in the playoffs, he's going for the win early. He doesn't want to go to overtime. All the coaches hate the overtime rules. So now they want to win the game in
yeah,
regulation.
yeah. And
And
the Lions were in a position where, yes, winning that game would have been huge for them. That clinches the 2 seed in the playoff, whatever. They still probably should have gone to overtime, though.
yeah,
I know that they don't like the rules and whatever. You had to play that game to go to overtime because it wasn't like there was nothing riding on this. Like, if you beat the Cowboys right there, it changes up your matchups in the playoffs, what have it. It was a pretty big decision. And the NFL has already come out and said they're not making any changes to what it takes for players to report eligible and all that. Who was that? Jalen Polk?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Texas
I,
Washington going on right now. It's in the first quarter. We'll give you updates as we go. A huge play for Jalen
so
Polk. What about 80 yards?
80 yards.
Damn.
Wow. I needed that to be Roma
Roma
Dunze,
Dunze,
but
but whatever.
fuck, that's a
We'll
great
give you
play.
we'll give you score updates as we go. This is I got a feeling this is gonna be an offensive one compared to Michigan, Alabama. But yeah, this one they totally got screwed. And I will say, silver lining, a couple of good things happened for the Lions out of this game. They're the second team in NFL history to have 4 players produce 850 plus scrimmage yards and 9 plus touchdowns in a single season. That being David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Sam Laporta.
Yeah,
So that
that's
was nice. And then performance wise, Dak had a fantastic game. 26 for 38, 345, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, whatever. The running game on both sides wasn't amazing. The Lions kind of did their normal thing where it was like Montgomery, Gibbs, same amount of carries or similar at least, and just let it happen. Gibbs didn't have a great one, 15 carries, 43 yards. Dave Montgomery, on the other hand, 14 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. And then on Dallas's side, the running game, not great. 16 carries for 49 yards from Tony Pollard, and that was really it. What?
let's just skip to CD Lamb, man.
Yeah,
Let's just skip.
that's fair. CeeDee Lamb had a fucking day. 13 receptions, 227 yards, and a touchdown. And that touchdown, I think, right? The touchdown was 92 yards.
Yep. It
Ridiculous.
was a near safety.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott just threw it up. The defenders like fell down
Yeah.
and left CD wide open and off to the races.
Yeah. And then Brandon Cooks also having a good game. 5 receptions, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. But more importantly, CeeDee Lamb set the Cowboys franchise record for most receiving yards in a single season, beating out Michael Irvin twice.
And Michael Irvin was in attendance at that
Yeah.
game.
It was one hell of a performance for CeeDee Lamb with those yards. That put him at 1,651 yards on the season. That's second in the league, only behind Tyreek Hill. And he's first in receptions with 122.
Yeah. And what's insane is that 3 Cowboys receivers had over 1 reception.
Yeah.
Jake Ferguson with 4, Brandon Cooks with 5, and CD with 13.
Great
But
game.
I do like what we're seeing out of Brandon Cooks. We're seeing more consistent play out of him, and he's seeing a
Agreed.
heavy volume in targets, 8 targets,
Yeah.
with 5 receptions. He's getting fed the ball, and he's getting comfortable there in Dallas.
Yeah. But on the other side, the Lions receiving core, pretty solid as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. And then Sam Laporta, 7 receptions, 84 yards. Jamison Williams, 2 receptions, 69 yards, but he had a long of 63. So let's be honest, he had
He
one reception.
he's their deep threat.
Yeah, he is.
Whenever Jared Goff wants to take a shot downfield, it's either Josh Reynolds or Jamison Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
One of those 2.
And on defense, another young guy standing out, Aiden Hutchinson, comes
Oof.
out with one hell of a performance. 5 total tackles, 5 solo, 3 of them being sacks, 4 of them being tackles for loss, and he hit the quarterback 5 times.
It was insane. He was all over Dak Prescott. It was
Yeah.
insane to watch.
Yep. It was overall a fantastic game for Dallas. The 2 picks come from Jordan Lewis and Donovan Wilson, and for Detroit, Ifeatu, I believe, Melifonwu. I know how to say the last name, iffy on the first name, but overall, it was a great game. Obviously, a controversial ending, but a fantastic game that put the Cowboys in a position they didn't expect to be in. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about how that happened later. Let's get into Sunday's games, and we'll start off with one that started off pretty interesting. Bills 27, Patriots 21, but the Patriots start the game off with a kick return for a touchdown. Tyler Bass kicked it 63 yards down the field. Jalen Rager for 98 yards in the touchdown. And also Tyler Bass recording the fastest ever sprint speed by a kicker in an NFL game at over 20 miles per hour trying to chase down Jalen Rager. That was insane how fast Tyler Bass was running. Not good enough, but the Bills end up putting it all together. They get the win 27-21 and keep themselves in contention for not just the playoffs, but the AFC East.
Nice. I know you were frozen there for a little bit,
Yeah, I know.
so yeah, this game was insane.
It was. Josh Allen did not have like a fantastic day in the passing game. The ground game, he had it going,
Bro,
but
I'm almost positive I was looking at this while I was at work. Going into the second quarter, both quarterbacks had like 5 completions or like 5 yards. Or like one of them had 1 completion for 5 yards.
yeah,
The other one had like 3 completions for 5 yards. It was like the weirdest fucking
yeah.
stat to look at
And
going into the second quarter.
and going into the second half, Bailey Zappi had one of the worst first halves a man could possibly have. He was 3 for 9 for 19 yards, 3 interceptions, including a pick six.
Yeah. Bro, Bill's defense ate him up.
Yeah, definitely. It was
Rasul Doug Rasul Douglas has been one of the best add-ons for the Bills
oh
defense.
yeah.
Like, that was a steal of a pickup.
Yeah, it was huge. And obviously like um they'd love to have Tre'Davious White. That's why they picked up Rasul Douglas, because Tre'Davious White went down. But he's been fantastic and got 2 of the picks here, including the pick six. Then Ed Oliver getting a pick as well.
That. Look at
Yeah,
that. Yeah. Is this
insane.
are we seeing the decline of Stephon Diggs going on right now?
I think so, because he sucks.
Yeah.
Plain
He
and
is
simple.
not he's not happy in Buffalo.
No, he's got to go. I think.
Yeah. Like he is
I think my thought: Buffalo needs to draft a wide receiver this year and let Stephon Diggs go.
do you think they would need to trade up to get a high-end wide receiver? Or do you think they could probably steal a
Uh,
solid one at the end of at the end of the round?
It depends on what some of the other teams are thinking about, because obviously like Marvin Harrison Jr. off the board,
I
but
I like I like Rome.
yeah, I don't hate Rome, but he might be off the board early too. Maybe even a guy like Keon Coleman could drop that low.
Yeah. Or look at
There's no
was
telling,
it
because like
yeah.
I haven't really looked into mock drafts yet, or what teams are really looking
There's
for. But
so many wide receivers.
yeah, there's a lot of wide receivers that are very good that are coming out in this draft, and there's really no telling who's gonna. Obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. is like the guy,
Yeah.
but there's a whole lot of guys right behind him.
Yeah. Dude, Malik Neighbors
Yeah, Malik Neighbors for sure. A
or
lot of
Frank.
guys. A lot
Yeah,
of guys.
Well, yeah, but yeah, the Bills, like, it's almost like, yeah, they won, but it's like one of those games that still feels like a loss
It does.
when you
They didn't
come
play
out of it.
well. Uh,
This is the definition of playing down to your competition.
yes. Which then again, they lost to the Patriots the last time out, so I guess this is a better result.
Yeah, but
But
listen, the Bills are finding ways to win here at the end of the
they
season.
are. It's been a great turnaround after firing Ken Dorsey. I'll definitely
Yeah.
say that. Let's talk about one that, yeah, I guess you could say it's a great turnaround for one, not a great turnaround for the other. The Chicago Bears, 37. The Atlanta Falcons, 17. In the snow in Chicago. Arthur Smith threw away his job in this game, 100%. Taylor Heineke got hurt. Um, so Ritter's back. But then again, Heineke had a shitter. 10 for 29, 163, one touchdown, three picks. But Desmond Ritter, in his four attempts, did find a way to throw an interception. The guy
It's
loves a good
insane.
turnover, man. I
It
will
is
say.
absolutely
Bijan had a good day, though. I'll give him his flowers for the running game. 15 carries, 75 yards. Heineke had a good day on the ground, too. 4 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Not a lot of action for Algier in the running game, but his one reception on like a screen for 75 yards to the house. That gave Atlanta a little bit of life early in the game, but soon to be shut down by Justin Fields having one hell of a day, and Khalil Herbert for that matter.
listen, Justin Fields is just showing his future team what he can do.
I'm saying, but look, neither of these teams. Actually, sorry, the Falcons aren't eliminated from the playoffs, and the Bears are. So fuck them.
Yeah,
Then again,
but
we have to beat the Saints, and the Buccaneers have to lose to the Panthers.
it can happen.
It definitely could happen. And look, the Panthers have nothing to play for. They've already given the Bears the number one overall pick.
Yeah,
So
listen,
maybe the Panthers want to go out there and just win a game.
they want to spoil some
Maybe.
seasons. But no, dude, DJ Moore.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Woo! 9 receptions, 159 yards, and a touchdown. He
Ridiculous.
and most of it was in the first half.
Yeah. Caleb Williams is going to love him next year.
It's all right. Justin Fields will upgrade to Drake London,
Up,
and
upgrade.
yeah,
I
oh,
love Drake London. Love
he's
him.
definitely he's definitely going to upgrade tight ends, and finally, Kyle Pitts is going to have a quarterback that will throw the ball to
But then
him.
again, is it an upgraded tight end either? Cole Kmet?
I think so, and
Debatable.
it,
At the moment.
it is debatable.
At the moment, it's
Look,
debatable.
there's one hot take for 2024.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, this isn't a hot take. Khalil Herbert had another fantastic game. 2 weeks in a row. The 2 weeks that I drop him from my fantasy team for this entire year. He goes off. 18 carries, 124 and a touchdown. And then Justin Fields, 11 carries, 45 yards and a touchdown. And Roshan Johnson, the rookie, got in on the action as well. 7 carries, 21 yards and a touchdown for him as well. Look, the Falcons just rolled over and died in this game.
Yeah, one
It was
then
horrible.
one of the only bright spots on the defense is still Jesse Bates.
Oh, yeah, that guy's a monster. And
Like,
Caden Ellis has been great all year. Not really getting talked about as much. Of course, is Jesse Bates, who's been putting up ridiculous numbers all year. But Caden
yeah,
Ellis has been fantastic as a linebacker this year.
yeah, he just gets overlooked at what Jesse Bates has been doing
Yeah.
this year. That's really it. But
Yeah.
I like the direction the Atlanta Falcons defense is heading in.
I
We
agree. I
keep
think
gr
it's great.
we
I
keep
know, like,
growing.
we kind of got exposed in this game. 37 points to the Bears is tough. But, like, I'm not mad, overall looking at the season. The way that
Yeah.
this defense played was amazing. Outside of A.J. Terrell, I think he really disappointed me this year.
Yeah, dude, it's just with him, it's just so many, holding and,
It's all
defensive
mental.
pass interference.
It's literally whenever he plays like a big wide receiver one, like a real wide receiver one, he just folds. Mike Evans
Mhm.
has his number. DJ Moore had his number in this game. So many guys all year just cooked him, and I think it's all mental. I think he just
Yeah.
doesn't think he can keep up with guys.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It all starts in the line, man. The shit talking is goes into full effect.
Yeah. Yep. Well, let's move on to the next game. A big one playoff wise as well. The Colts getting a close win over the Raiders, 23-20. Gardner Minshew having a decent game, 15 for 23, 224 and a touchdown. No picks, one sack. But Jonathan Taylor really putting the team on his back. 21 carries, 96 yards and a touchdown in this game.
Yeah, dude. That's what Jonathan Taylor does. That's what we're used to him doing. He just
Definitely.
hadn't done it in a while.
Yeah, and Alec Pierce on his only target of the game gets a 58-yard touchdown. That was a huge one. And then Josh Downs on his 2 targets of the game gets 2 receptions for 53 yards. And then Michael Pittman with 7 targets, 5 receptions, 46 yards. But on the Raiders side, it was all Devontae Adams keeping him in this one. 13 receptions, 126 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him. Aiden O'Connell, after last week, where he couldn't complete a pass after the first quarter and only had 9 completions, went 30 for 47, 299, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Just entirely rewriting the narrative.
Yeah.
Also, proving that it was L'Jarius Sneed locking down Devontae
I
Adams
was
last week.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. If you think otherwise, man, what come on.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You
Like,
probably root for the Eagles.
that's crazy.
Hey, but without Josh Jacobs, Zeus has been filling in pretty well. Zamir White, 20 carries, 71 yards in this game. Pretty solid performance for him. Um, on the defensive side, only 1 sack for Vegas, and that comes from Adam Butler. Max Crosby a little more quiet in this game when it came to getting to the quarterback. And then on the Colts side, you had Tyquan Lewis and DeForest Buckner recording a sack in this one.
Yeah. O-lines did a great job.
Definitely. Definitely.
That's definitely improvements. But yeah, I mean Aiden O'Connell still, but 30 completions for just under 300 yards is wow.
Like, he's never going to air the ball out. I think that's
Yeah,
pretty
it's just
obvious.
a lot of times like the slant over the middle, 7 yards, maybe to Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
See if he can stretch it. But that's really all you need to do.
definitely. But this win keeps the Colts' playoff hopes alive, keeping them even with the Jags and the Texans, who we'll talk about their games later. But let's get into the next game because another team kept their season alive. The Rams, 26, the Giants, 25. A real close one. Matthew Stafford and Tyrod Taylor having some pretty similar performances. Matthew Stafford, 24 for 34, 317, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Tyrod Taylor, 27 for 41, 319, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He got sacked 6 times. Stafford got sacked 4 times. Literally, like, as close as you can get.
So yeah, it's insane, honestly.
Yeah, but there's one man and one man only to talk about in this game. Well, actually, I'd say there's
There's,
3
there's
guys. There's 3 guys to talk about in this game. But Kyron Williams,
yes,
20
sir.
carries, 87 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the man. And one of those touchdowns, at least attempted. The ball was attempted to be stolen by a Giants fan in a Saquon Barkley jersey who was ripping the ball away from Kyron Williams' mom.
Hmm,
I don't know if you saw that, but that
I
was
did.
just ridiculous.
That's how you get your ass beat. Honestly,
Yeah,
he
that
better
was
he better be thankful they were in New York
yeah.
and not in
Bro,
L.A.
why do you even think he would give you the ball? You're wearing a Saquon jersey.
Right? That's for his mom.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
like if I'm a professional athlete and I hand a ball to my mom and I turn around and I see an opposing fan try to rip it away from her,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you're
yeah,
you're
you're done.
toast.
You're
You're,
done.
you're toast.
But the other big performer for the Rams, Puka Nakua, 5 receptions, 118 yards in this game. Cooper Kupp getting the sole receiving touchdown, but only 4 receptions for 27 yards, while Demarcus Robinson, who has been filling in the last couple of weeks at wide receiver, has been amazing. 6 receptions, 92 yards for him, and 6 receptions, 62 yards for Higbee as well.
Yeah. Demarcus Robinson led the team in targets
Yeah,
with 10.
yeah, man was just getting open. But I think Puka Nakua is now 29 yards away from the rookie single season receiving record.
And he had a lot of off weeks too. Like he was like
Definitely.
had
He
some
had some very
shit
slow
weeks,
weeks.
but
But
I don't know.
you start off the season with the games he'd had and it's pretty hard to catch up.
Yeah.
But on the Giants side, they did have a silver lining, and it was Darius Slayton. 4 receptions, 106 yards, and a touchdown. Nobody else really doing too much in this game. Wan'Dale Robinson, 9 targets, 6 receptions, 55 yards, and Waller had 5 receptions for 51, but not much else coming from anybody. Um, yeah, just overall a big win for the Rams. Obviously, a tough loss for the Giants, but nobody really thought they'd be in the game, you know, when it came down
Man,
to it, and they kept it super close. Um, sort of mounting a comeback that was just all over the place. But ultimately, the punt return touchdown. Um, sorry, is that right?
they had a missed PAT.
Yeah,
It, I remember that. It
there was a
was
punt return touchdown, right, by the Giants.
yeah, at the very
Okay,
end
yeah,
with 3 minutes left.
yeah, that brought it super close, but something I don't know what the deal was with the 2 point
Well,
conversions and the
I don't know why
PATs, like
I don't know why they
brutal.
went for the 2 point conversion there and
Yeah,
not go to OT. But
don't know.
also they win the game if I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, very weird decision making there. But overall, the Rams season, they keep it alive and they get the win. So let's move on to this ridiculous outcome. The 4-12 now Arizona Cardinals defeat the Eagles
Mm,
35-31.
mm.
I can't explain it because like Philly offensively, you look at the numbers and they didn't have a good game, but they put up 31 points.
It's
Like Jalen Hurts only had 167 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns. He did throw a pick. DeAndre Swift only had 61 yards. They had 91 yards as a team on the ground. How the
yeah.
fuck did they put up 31? Couldn't tell you.
Well,
Well, they did
one
have
of their
a huge pick six.
99-yard pick
Yeah,
six by Sidney
yeah.
Brown.
That looked like Kyler Murray hit him in stride.
Just gonna say, maybe next time let James Conner run the ball. Just a thought.
Yeah, well, he ran it plenty. 26 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown. Um, but yeah, he
Could have.
definitely deserved the ball a little bit more. Kyler, not a bad day at all. Just the pick six was brutal. 25 for 31, 232, 3 touchdowns, and a pick, of course. But Michael Carter having a good game on the ground. 7 carries for 61 yards in this one. And the leading receiver, Greg Dortch for the Cardinals. Seven
I know
receptions,
I know
82
you love to
yards.
say that. I know you love to say
It's
that.
crazy. Definitely didn't see that coming.
Just so y'all know, like 3 weeks ago, I take the chance. I put Greg Dortch in as my flex. He only gets your boy like 1.9 points, and then he does this shit.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
he's one of
Surprised.
he's one of Kyler's favorite targets.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Trey McBride didn't see more targets in this game. Only 7 targets for him. It seems like he's been the most reliable and just the best receiver on this team this whole year at tight
I
end.
think I think Philly went in like after that first drive where he got like two consecutive
Yeah.
like big yard catches. They said if they're gonna lose, it's not gonna be to Trey McBride. They were double teaming him. He was not getting open.
Yeah. And it definitely worked because they got a huge win over Philly, who absolutely fumbled the division here. Um, Now the Cowboys just need a win versus the Commanders next week to win this division. And yeah, it's it's insane that the Eagles have
Yeah,
choked like this. Like honestly, the biggest choke outside of just losing games is the fact that they've already said Matt Patricia will stay as the defensive play caller. Joseph
that's yeah.
Desai is the defensive coordinator, started the season as the defensive coordinator, and Matt Patricia has just snuck his way into this defense somehow, and he's now taking over the play calling a couple weeks ago and still doing it after they started 10-1 and will now finish the season with 5 or more losses. That's the first time a team has done that in 35 years.
It's awful.
Yeah, they are abysmal on defense right now, and it is
Yeah,
definitely showing.
bro. It's like if you take it back to last week, they were it was a one score game to the Giants.
Yeah.
Like they could have six lost. They gave up 25 points to the Giants.
Yeah.
Like that is oh dude. Eagles have just been like the last like 8 weeks, they have just been sneaking by.
Yeah.
Those first couple wins, and then now they're just getting absolutely exposed.
Yeah, and, interestingly enough, the Cardinals winning this game, I believe put them at 3rd overall, instead, of being 2nd, which I think is now the Commanders' pick.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, the Cardinals might have gone to 4th overall because I think the Patriots are picking 3rd.
Hmm.
So even more interesting. Um, yeah, it's confusing, but the Cardinals were 2-2 against the NFC East this season with wins over the Eagles and Cowboys and losses to the Commanders and Giants.
I was about to say because I know they beat the Cowboys
Yeah.
week 2.
And they almost beat the Giants. Remember that ridiculous comeback by Daniel Jones? Like
Mhm.
the Cardinals could have had 3 wins against the NFC East this season.
That's absolutely absurd.
It is insane, but let's go down to the NFC South. Saints Bucks, a huge matchup. The Buccaneers with the opportunity to lock this division up for themselves in this game, and they looked like shit for the whole first 3 quarters of this game. The Saints win it 23-13, and the Buccaneers were shut out until the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Baker looked like primetime Baker in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
He looked awful. Probably throwing his, chances at, comeback player of the year away.
Yeah, but he kind of redeemed himself. 22 for 33, 309, 2 touchdowns. The 2 picks are obviously bad, but he gave them life at the end of this game, but you were already down 20-0 going into the 4th quarter. Derek Carr, a pretty solid performance for him, 24 for 32, 197, 2 touchdowns. That's just what he does, 6.2 yards per attempt. But on the ground, Jamal Williams finally getting some action. Have not have not seen him
I
much
think
this year.
I think Kamara went out with an injury or
But
like,
even when
uh,
Kamara wasn't in, Jamal Williams got no love this whole season. This game,
yeah,
19 carries, 58 yards. No touchdowns for him, which kind of sucks, but just whatever. And then Juwan Johnson and Taysom Hill leading the way as tight ends. Juwan Johnson, 12 targets for
that
8
is absurd.
receptions. It's
That is
crazy.
absurd. Good
Double the amount of targets of Chris Olave.
That is absolutely
Yeah,
insane.
8 receptions, 90 yards and a touchdown for Jawan, and then Taysom 2 receptions, 30 yards and a touchdown. And then Olave having a pretty slow game for himself, 6 targets, 3 receptions, 26 yards.
I'm surprised Taysom Hill's not running the ball more like he used to back
Yeah,
earlier this season.
I
Just
think
like
it's just that
he's
like
just
I think they're not putting him in the Wildcat as much. I think that's
yeah.
why.
I don't know. It's interesting to look at because he's a playmaker that can change a game.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, Rashad White. It was a good week for him to have a bad week. Let me just say it was great,
Yes,
great.
Colin is in the fantasy football championship, and he took down Luke in the semifinal.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Pretty
Luke. I
tough.
know you're listening.
Yeah.
I love you, buddy. It was matchup of the ages, but damn, I beat that ass.
But on Tampa's receiving side, a couple of good performances. Trey Palmer, 4 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. The problem was that his 54-yard long of the game, he fumbled the ball and turned it over.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
horrible.
for Chris Godwin, he had a good game as well. 3 receptions, 81 yards, and a touchdown. And Mike Evans, 3 receptions, 70 yards for him. Overall, the Bucks just had no life, man. It just seemed like
Yeah,
they weren't doing anything. Obviously, they turn up in the 4th quarter, put up 13, but yeah, it was a bad showing for the Buccaneers considering the high stakes of this game.
yeah, they just came out flat.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's it.
yeah,
But that shit,
and
that's it. That's the NFC South for you right there.
exactly, and it kept the Falcons alive. So I'll take it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Buccaneers.
like
Now go lose to the Panthers.
part of me wants to make the playoffs, but it's just like, oh, like
We're just hurting our draft pick.
we're just gonna get first round exited too.
Yeah,
Like it's just, I don't know. Maybe
because
Desmond Ritter makes a run for the ages.
like think about it. We're gonna play like if we win the division and make the playoffs, we're playing the
Oop.
Eagles.
Yeah, that's just no chance.
We have no shot.
We're we're gonna turn the ball over like 6 times.
Yeah, it'll be bad. for sure. But let's get into the next game. 49ers 27, Commanders 10. The 49ers now clinching the number one seed in the NFC with that Eagles loss. Um, Big one here. Brock Purdy, pretty solid day.
Yeah.
Average day, but solid. 22 for 28, 230, two touchdowns, and that set the record for the most passing yards in a season for a 49ers quarterback. How insane is that? Brock Purdy, his second season, his first full season, Mr. Irrelevant, just passed for more yards in a season than legends of the game. Joe
Yeah.
Montana, Steve Young, Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick.
All right.
Legends.
It's just like the 49ers has just been so like weak at quarterback since like those names were there. Like
Yeah.
you're looking at the like Trey Lance, Jimmy
Yeah.
G, like all that stuff. But they found their guy in Brock Purdy.
Yeah. He is definitely the guy, despite 4 picks last week. And in the running game, Christian McCaffrey goes down with an injury. A mild calf strain that will leave him out for week 18, but not a huge deal going into the playoffs. He should be fine by then. But Elijah Mitchell picking up the slack, 17 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown for him.
Yeah, I mean McCaffrey's gonna get an off week next week.
Yeah,
It's
he needs
almost guaranteed. Um, as I think most of these players will. Like
it.
we
Yeah.
probably won't see much of Ayuk or Debo or Kittle. We'll see a lot of Juwan Jennings, Kyle Juszczyk,
Yeah.
Ronnie Bell. Maybe are we gonna see Ray McLeod?
Maybe. There's no telling.
Hello, Ray.
But Ayuk had one hell of a performance again. 7 receptions, 114, and a touchdown. Debo getting a touchdown as well. 5 receptions, 37 yards. But yeah, the 49ers are so fucking good. I guess we can talk about the Commanders.
They put
Whatever.
up a fight in the
Yeah.
first half.
Yeah, for sure.
It went into halftime 13-10.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sanford
but I
came out
think
bad.
yeah, the biggest thing to look at is why didn't Jacoby Brissett start this game?
That's what I was wondering too. I don't know. Maybe he was hurt. I have no clue, but I would assume he would have started.
I I thought he was gonna start because every time he's come in the game, it's just been so much better. I guess at this point, they're just letting Sam Howell just get the experience.
Yeah, which he needs it for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
they pretty much said Sam Howell's their guy for now.
yeah, and
Like
Terry McLaurin, really the only guy having a good performance on the offense here. 4 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown for him in this game. But overall, the Commanders just kind of played pretty bad.
bro, what is going on with Jahan Dotson? He is a wide receiver too that saw one target.
Yeah. Well, I'd go on a limb and say he's definitely wide receiver 3 now behind Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, now that
Um,
he's back.
and seems like they'd also rather throw to Logan Thomas as well.
Or just check it down to Brian Robinson or Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. Like the fact that you're a guy coming into this season, like super hyped up guy, Jahan
Yeah.
Dotson, second year player, amazing guy at Penn State, a great rookie year, honestly. And now you're getting the same amount of targets as Byron Pringle. That's it's a sad life to live for him. But let's move on to some more important stuff. Oh, well, I guess let's talk about this. Record, of course, the 49ers, first team in NFL history to have a running back, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end all hit over 1,000 all-purpose yards in a single season.
I mean, that just shows you that's also why Brock Purdy is so successful.
Yeah.
It's just the weapons he has around.
Oh yeah. It was
That's
insane. But they can essentially all sit on the couch next week and do nothing. But this next team cannot. The Jaguars get the 26-0 win over the Panthers, the horrible, horrible fucking Panthers that beat the Falcons. Yeah. Look, the Falcons'
and
playoff chances rely on this Panthers team. And
they just put up a goose egg.
yeah, they just put up a goose egg. Bryce Young, shitter. 19 completions for 32 attempts.
Oh, he has no time.
112 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. He got sacked 6 times. Yeah, look, that offensive line is abysmal.
He
Um,
got sacked 6 times.
yeah. Chuba Hubbard, 11 carries, 45 yards. Miles Bummy Sanders, 2 carries, 10 yards. His best yards per carry this season, I'd have to
Bro,
guess.
I wanna get, like, a jersey. I wanna get a Miles Sanders jersey now that just says Miles Bummy Sanders.
Please do. Please
I
do.
think it's great.
Um, their
Yeah,
leading
literally,
receiver, Adam Thielen, 6 receptions, 38 yards.
Chuba is, like, the best thing on this offense right now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's fighting through a hamstring injury.
Yeah. It's bad. Luckily they have a defense, kind of. Brian Burns is good.
I
Um,
mean, their defense played really well against the
yeah.
Jags. Like, the Jags kicked 4 field goals in this game,
Yeah.
and it didn't really break open until Etienne had a 62-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, it was insane.
That was sick. And like no Trevor Lawrence in this game either. And they still put up 26 with CJ Beathard at QB. But yeah, Travis Etienne leading the way, 16 carries, 102 with the 2 touchdowns, one of them being the aforementioned 62-yarder. Tank Bigsby getting a little bit of action at the end of the game, 10 carries, 32 yards. CJ Beathard breaking some off, 3 carries, 24 yards. And Evan Ingram, your leading receiver with 6 receptions, 60. Jamal Agnew getting some action as well, 2 receptions, 53 yards along of 48. And Calvin Ridley not doing much. And that's really it. No Zay
Yes.
Jones in this game. Um, no Christian Kirk either.
Yeah, I mean, you had Josh Allen on defense get 3 sacks,
Yeah, he had one hell of a day.
and then Trayvon Walker got 2.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, they're
Don't
making.
forget about Roy Robertson Harris. His one tackle was a sack.
Yeah, Washington is just driving.
But the Jaguars will be playing for their life this weekend.
Who they got? They
They
got Tennessee, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
they play.
they currently sit in first place in the AFC South, having the tiebreakers over Indy and Houston. But
Yeah.
they got to beat the Titans, which is not easy per se.
You're playing in Nashville,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
But when you look at it, the Texans play the Colts.
Yeah. But yeah, that game next week on Saturday is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But we're not here to preview. We're here to talk about the games that happened, and this game fucking happened. This game fucking happened. The Ravens. The Ravens. 56. The Miami Dolphins. The offensive powerhouse that is the Miami Dolphins. 19 points against the Baltimore Ravens. Wow.
Grayson, is it safe to say we found the best team in the NFL right
I
now?
believe we have found the best team in the NFL. And not just because that TikTok and Instagram, that clip I made amassed over 20,000 views on Instagram Reels and has gotten fantastic reception from the people. But they're genuinely just fucking amazing. Lamar Jackson, your MVP, is the quarterback of this team. Zay Flowers, probably a finalist for Rookie of the Year with his
Hon
performances he's had this season.
honestly,
The
yeah.
Gus Bus himself, and then this fantastic defense.
Yeah.
It is just
Don't forget
insane.
about Melvin Gordon III, man, getting that rushing touchdown in late in the game.
Yeah. There is one guy I actually do want to talk about, Isaiah Likely.
Yeah.
One hell of a touchdown for him, a 35-yarder. His other reception in the game, also a touchdown. Ridiculously good team, the Ravens. Like 56 points on this Dolphins team is amazing. I was
And
really hoping they were going to put up 70. It would have been fantastic if they put up 70, but they didn't. But the Dolphins absolutely flopped. Looked like they were out of the water. Tua, 22 for 38, 237, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 3 sacks. Devin Achane had one hell of a game, 14 carries, 107. Nobody else really running the ball well. No Mostert in this game. And then receiving game just seemed like Tyreek Hill and Tua couldn't connect. 12 targets, 6 receptions, 76 yards for Tyreek. Durham Smythe, 3 receptions, 54 yards. Devin Achane having a pretty good game, and no Jalen Waddle in this game.
we're not gonna talk about that wide open touchdown Tyreek dropped, where he literally bobbled in, just fucking dropped it.
Well, you're the one that's
That's
talking about it.
fucking insane. But also on the defensive side, Bradley Chubb, will miss the remainder of the season with a torn
Yep,
ACL.
dude. I keep pushing this
Bro,
sign with my chair.
how many torn ACLs or torn Achilles for this Miami defense?
It's brutal.
Like this Miami defense just cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like they get guys back, they lose a guy.
Yep.
It's
Also, I just looked at my notes. I'm sorry. I forgot to bring this up with Jags Panthers. The Panthers owner threw a drink at Jags fans.
oh yeah, dude, I just
That was
that
that's crazy.
that's it.
David Tepper is the biggest just piece of shit there is.
That's insane.
Like he is an asshole. Like I just keep reading more and more stories about how much of a dick he is, and like this
Yeah.
is so on par with who he is as a person. But back to this game. Yeah, Lamar had two more touchdowns than he did incompletions. The man went 18 for 21, 321, 5 touchdowns, no picks, a perfect QB rating or passer rating.
Mm.
Ridiculous. Gus Edwards, a fantastic game, 16 carries, 68 yards and a touchdown. Zay Flowers, with that aforementioned amazing performance, was 3 receptions on 3 targets. That's crazy. He only got 3 targets, but
Yeah, well
3
he had
receptions, 106 and a touchdown.
pretty sure he had Ramsey on him most of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Which I was kind of
Wow.
surprised by. I thought Odell would probably be occupied by Ramsey more, just psych him
It's
out.
who it's
But
whoever's at the bottom.
yeah,
So Jalen Ramsey doesn't really float. He just
yeah,
stays on one side of the field, which is weird.
yeah. And I did notice somebody pointed this out on Twitter on Zay Flowers' touchdown. It was great. So Lamar received the snap and stood in a lefty stance, but obviously had the ball in his right hand because he's right-handed. Stood in a lefty stance to look to the left, and then moves out to his right, turns it to the right, and throws to Zay Flowers, and nobody was paying attention to it. It was
Huh.
ridiculous. And people pointed out that, like, I wonder if they did this on purpose because this defense practices against a lefty quarterback.
Honestly, probably.
So they thought he comes out lefty and he's looking left, he's going to throw left, switches it up, goes to the right, throws it on the run. Like it was
Yeah, I'm
amazing.
watching it right now.
Yeah.
Just over here on the side. It was insane. Yeah, because both I think it was Javon Holland and Jalen Ramsey like pushed in
Yeah.
and just let Zay Flowers come in right behind him.
Yeah. It was
Beautiful.
if that was intentional, that was amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think as much as I hate to say it, I think this secured MVP for Lamar
I
Jackson.
agree for sure. The Ravens have nothing to play for next week. They clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC. Um, so we'll probably just see Tyler Huntley next week. But
I mean, he was 1 for 1 with a touchdown this week.
yeah, yeah,
What? Who do they even play? Steelers?
yeah,
Yeah, they play
which
the
is
Steelers.
kind of big for other teams' playoff chances. The Steelers have a chance to get in. Um,
Steelers already beat the Ravens once this season.
exactly. But also a couple of other teams' playoff chances ride on the Steelers game. It's going to be interesting. And me and Luke are going to talk playoff clinching scenarios for the weekend on Friday's episode. But for now, let's move on to the next one. A big win for the Texans, 26-3. Um, Tannehill, bad. Will Levis, possibly worse. Um, Derrick Henry, old, washed,
And bad.
and bad. CJ Stroud, not too bad. 24
The
for 32,
return. The return of
213.
TJ Stroud.
Yeah, and a touchdown coming back from the concussion. Devin Singletary having another great game. Once again, taking away a possible second contract for Dameon Pierce.
Yeah,
And
Damian Pierce.
yeah, Devin Singletary, 16 carries, 80 yards for him. And then in the receiving game, he had 7 receptions, 80 yards for Nico Collins, who also came back fully into the lineup last week on a snaps restriction. And then Robert Woods, 4 receptions, 58 yards, and a touchdown for Brevin Jordan on the offense. But yeah, a huge win for the Texans, puts them at 9-7, keeps them in that race for the AFC South title. And the Titans just suck. 1-7 on the road. That's crazy.
Well, it's a good thing they're playing at home next week.
Yeah, they definitely need it. I'll tell you that.
But
Honestly, they might just need the draft pick.
I'm so impressed with this how Houston's O line has performed this year.
Yeah,
For a rookie quarterback, it's just been phenomenal. Like this game, only one sack.
yeah. And if we're talking about offensive lines, we have to talk about how bad the Titans have been. Titans left tackle Andre Dillard, after this game, is now tied for the most sacks allowed this season with 12. Their backup left tackle, Jalen Duncan, is now tied for the fourth most sacks allowed this season with 9.
They gave
Two
up two.
players that play the same position.
That is horrible.
And part of the reason both of those guys struggled was one Will Anderson Jr. He only had 12 snaps in this game, and he recorded 2 sacks, 3 hits on the QB, and 6 pressures. 6
Damn.
pressures and 12 snaps is insane.
Damn.
Yeah, just a ridiculous performance. The Texans amassing 6 sacks across the board from the team this week. Derek Barnett, 1.5. Will Anderson, of course, with 2. Kurt Hinish splitting the one with Derek Barnett. A sack for Sheldon Rankins, and a sack for Jerry Hughes. This was a fantastic performance, both sides of
Yeah.
the ball for the Texans.
Yeah. Texans look good right now.
Yeah.
I would love to see them get in post playoffs.
Yeah, me too.
I about said postseason. I mean, I'm so ready for baseball to be back.
Well, let's move on to the next game. Steelers 30, Seahawks 23. The Steelers staying alive. And just to reflect on 2023, we talked about how bad some of our takes were in 2023. Colin, you had one of the worst takes in the history of this podcast. You said, I can't remember if this is correct. I think you said the Steelers would not win any more games after their 3rd win of the season, or was it their 4th?
So listen, it was going. I'm pretty sure it was going into the rant. Yeah, after the Ravens game,
Okay.
I said that they were gonna win one more game this season,
Yeah.
but then they were just gonna shit the bed. But
Yeah.
yeah, they proved me wrong.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin does his thing. Now, in his 17th season as the Steelers head coach, records his 17th win. That sounded wrong. 17th winning season.
Yeah.
Impressive for sure. And in this game, the most impressive, Najee Harris, just getting out there and doing his thing. 27 carries for him, 122, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Warren, 13 carries, 75 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, Najee Harris has cemented himself back as the running back number 1 for this team. Both of them having fantastic performances. And Mason Rudolph did not lose any of that Christmas magic. 18 for 24, 274, no picks, no touchdowns, and only got sacked 1 time. But he will retain the starting role going into next week.
Najee Harris was so angry when he was running.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
worse than Pacheco,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Like he
Yeah.
just looked like he was mad at the whole world. I
Yeah.
don't know if he didn't get that like Xbox he wanted for Christmas or something, but damn.
Yeah, he was furious.
And also, I believe George Pickens wants Mason Rudolph to be his quarterback for the rest of his career.
Definitely. They have had some fantastic games together now. Pickens, 7 receptions, 131. And Deontay Johnson, 4 receptions, 76 yards. Overall, 4 guys even got targets in this game, and all of them got at least 4. Pat Fryermuth, 3 receptions, 44 yards, and Jalen Warren, 4 receptions, 23 yards. Literally, how do you win a game throwing to 4 people?
I don't fucking know. Like no Calvin Austin.
Nope.
Um, I can't even.
Nothing. That
No,
didn't throw
no.
to Najee
I
once.
was about to say it. That's really about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
mean, fuck you got two amazing wide receivers. Fucking use them.
yeah, and they did. They did. And they
Yeah.
won them a game against a Seahawks team that was also fighting to stay alive. But unfortunately, they didn't. Geno Smith had a good game, 23 for 33, 290, and a touchdown. Kenneth Walker, not the best, but not a bad game at all. 10 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown. DK Metcalf had a great game, though. 5 receptions, 106 was big,
Yeah.
huge for this team. And then Noah Fant, 5 receptions, 59 yards.
if you look all the way down right above Jake Bobo, you'll see, wide receiver number 2, Tyler Lockett,
Yeah.
1 reception, 10 yards on 5 targets.
Yeah. And then right above him, you'll see wide receiver number 3, Jackson Smith and Jigba, with 1 reception for 12 yards, and it was a touchdown.
A beautiful touchdown over
It
the middle
was.
too.
It
Like,
was one hell of a throw.
dude, JSN's making a case for Rookie of the Year, honestly.
Yeah, I think there's way too many guys that should be finalists, but CJ Stroud's going to win.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like in my head right now, it's probably Stroud, Puka, Zay, maybe JSN, plenty of other guys. Honestly, could be up there.
Yeah,
Rashi Rice had a great
and
season
Rush
this year.
killing.
He's definitely got a bid. Bijan has a bid. A lot of guys.
Maybe if he would've got the ball more.
True, I agree, but he still has had pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Anybody on the defense we want to talk about? Not in particular.
Not
Bobby Wagner still doing it,
not
still kicking.
yeah, he's
And Julian
breathing.
Love had a great game too. 14 total tackles, 10 solo. Fantastic.
Bobby Wagner. Dude, I totally forgot that Miles Jack's on Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like,
Pittsburgh
it's
does
just
have they have quite a few guys where you're like, oh, that guy's still playing? Oh, he plays here?
yeah,
Yeah, Miles
yeah.
Jack, Pat Pete, Cameron Hayward.
Listen, I know you're ready to talk about this next game.
Yeah. Let's be honest, it's the only thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Broncos country. It's over. It's all over. Jarrett Stidham filling in for the benched Russell Wilson, as we'll call him for now. The NFLPA not happy about that one. Uh, actually called out the Broncos in a statement saying it was illegal and against the CBA for them to threaten Russell Wilson for his contract. But nonetheless, Jarrett Stidham came in and did just about exactly the same thing that Russell Wilson did against the Chargers earlier in the year. 20 for 32, 224, 1 touchdown, no picks, 2 sacks. Not a bad performance for him, considering the horrible fucking circumstances that have brought him into the game. But
Yeah.
at least he's better than Easton Stick. Easton Pick, as I'd like to call him. He didn't actually throw an interception in this game, luckily.
Yeah.
But 24 for 38, 220, no touchdowns, no picks, got sacked 1 time. Look, nobody has the ability to step up for the Chargers. Austin Eckler sucks. No Keenan Allen, obviously no Mike Williams. Alex Erickson, I guess, stepped up. 7 receptions, 98 yards. Colin, give me one thing you know about Alex Erickson.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver.
Yep.
Where's number 82?
Yep.
I think he went to what year is he?
He is a
Is he like
7th year guy. He's 31 years old.
Erickson? That's definitely like that's definitely a Big 10 school.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go either Iowa or Wisconsin. Let's go Wisconsin.
Yeah, you're definitely looking at his ESPN bio right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He's also white. We'll throw that part in there too.
But yeah, I mean, last name's Erickson.
Put him on the team. But Quentin Johnston, per usual, not stepping up either. Only 3 receptions, 29 yards for him. But for the Broncos, Lil Jordan Humphrey, let's go. 2 receptions, 69 yards and a touchdown. Jared Jeudy, not doing much. 3 receptions, 54 yards. Cortland Sutton, a game time scratch. And yeah, nobody else really did all that much. The running game kind of sucked. Jaleel McLaughlin, 44 yards. Javonte Williams, 41 yards. They really can't figure out what they want to do with those two. Obviously,
Bro,
they
if
both need to be used, but it was, I don't know what the play calling is going on with that holy Penix.
bro,
Did he
he's
just
just
catch that?
air.
Oh
He
my
did, bro.
God.
He's just
Is that
airmailing.
Roma Dunze?
That is Rome.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Also, we haven't given any updates. I know we always do this. We're always like, if there's a game on, we're like, oh, we'll give you updates as we go. It's 14-14, so we haven't given you any updates. But it's 14-14 and a huge, huge pass to Roma Dunze. Deep.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
But
We're
let's
off we're off to a great start, like you said. This is gonna be
yeah,
a very high
big
scoring game.
offense. Big offense halfway through the second quarter. All right, let's move on because we're taking way too much time on the NFL. Our second to
Yeah.
last game. Chiefs 25, Bengals 17. The Chiefs kind of getting things together. They just needed this guy back in the lineup, Isaiah Pacheco, the world beater. And by world beater, I mean he punches the ground with his feet as he runs, and he did it for 130 yards this week. Rashee Rice, like I said, I think he's definitely in the conversation as a Rookie of the Year candidate. Not going to win. He's a candidate. 5 receptions, 127 yards for him. Uh, Put him real close to 1,000 yards on the season. But Patrick Mahomes kind of turning things around. Still not like a stellar, outstanding performance when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, but 21 for 29, 245 and a touchdown. Definitely not bad. Travis Kelce, non-existent again. Don't know what's going
It's
on with him.
it's the Swift effect, man.
I think so. I
You
think
well,
so.
listen, you know Taylor Swift's an Eagles fan, right?
Yeah,
She's sabotaging the Chiefs
I
for what the
agree.
Chiefs did to the Eagles last year.
I definitely agree. Maybe she's sabotaging the Bengals too. Jake Browning, not great. 19 for 33, 197 and a touchdown. Joe Mixon had a decent game. I won't say good, decent. It was high volume, low results. 21 carries, 65 yards. Jake Browning did have a rushing touchdown. Nobody doing much in the receiving game. Jamar Chase leading the team with 41 yards on his 3 receptions. Just yeah, not the best Bengals we've seen. In this game, unfortunately, eliminates them from the playoffs
This is a boring ass
and
game.
somehow puts them in fourth place in the AFC East.
Yeah, at 8-8, where
Yeah, or sorry, the
that'd
AFC
be
North.
would that be would that be tied with the lead in the South, NFC
Yes,
South?
it sure would.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Fuck.
not great. Not great at all. But I will give props to the Chiefs defense. They obliterated the Bengals offensive line. 2 sacks for Justin Reed, a sack and a half for George Karlaftis, half a sack for Charles Omenihu, and a sack for Tershawn Wharton, and a sack for the big boy Chris Jones in the middle.
Number 95.
Yes, sir. Got a bag. All right. Anything else you want to talk about with this game?
No, this game was honestly kind of fucking
It
boring.
kind of sucked.
Yeah,
I think I was
it's
just
like
really I was looking forward to not only New Year's, of course, but also this Packers Vikings game because I was bought in on the Packers and it
yeah.
turned out pretty good. Packers 33, Vikings 10. They kill not only the Vikings' hopes, kind of a little bit, but the Bears because the Bears needed a tie in this game to keep their playoff chances alive. It would have taken a multitude of ridiculous occurrences in the final week of the season, but the Bears die from this one, and the Packers are thriving. They're moved to 8-8 now, and Jordan Love looks amazing. 24 for 33, 256, and 3 touchdowns. No picks. Didn't even get sacked once in this game. Just genuinely a fantastic performance for Jordan Love. And also for Jaden Reed. He had a great one. Bo Melton getting activated off the practice squad when they put Dontavian Wicks, I believe, was who they put on the IR or whatever, who was out for this game. Bo Melton, 6 receptions, 105 and a touchdown. Jaden Reed, I kind of got distracted, but Jaden Reed, 6 receptions, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Before, I think, getting hit in the chest and leaving the game.
Yeah.
Got a little banged up, kind of re-injured himself from a couple weeks ago. But Green Bay running the ball, fantastic with Aaron Jones. 20 carries, 120, a real revival for Aaron Jones. Yeah, a fantastic offensive performance by the Packers. This one was essentially done and dusted by halftime when it was 23-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you see pregame shirtless Kirk Cousins
Yes, yes. That
doing the
that had to be
skull?
bad luck.
It had to. It was like him and
Also,
his son.
Jaron Hall sucks. Don't
Yeah.
start him again.
I was about to say Nick Mullins was your best option to start here.
Yeah. Like Jaron Hall started against the Falcons, and then got concussed, and they put in Josh Dobbs. This game, he just looked he he might as well have been concussed.
I was about
5
to
for
say
10, 67 yards and a pick. Got sacked 3 times for 28 yards. That's brutal. They couldn't really help themselves out on the ground. 67 rushing yards as a team. Jetta's had an okay game, but he got a lot of targets. He just wasn't making the physical catches that we're used to seeing. A lot of ones over the middle where like somebody just kind of got in the way and it totally threw him off. Not too sure what the deal is there, but
bro, he needs Kirk.
yeah, he does.
He's dying without Kirk.
Yeah, maybe he should follow Kirk to the Falcons.
Bro, so, I don't think Kirk's going to the Falcons. I'm
Why
sorry.
not?
I mean, I would love it.
It'd be better
Would,
than Russ. That's all I care about.
would you rather have Justin Fields or Kirk?
I would rather have Justin Fields probably just because of like the idea of the future. But Kirk's a
As I
free
say,
agent. Justin Fields, I don't think is.
no. Dual threat quarterbacks are the future.
That's true. Yeah, Lamar Jackson's about to win MVP. Um, but yeah, overall, the Packers played a fantastic game here.
Yeah, Packers look good. Nothing
Definitely,
else to say.
definitely. And like I said earlier, we'll talk about playoff scenarios and such on Friday's episode with Luke. But for now, let's get into some MLB offseason news. Not too much because of the holiday. Not a lot typically happens within this week, but a little bit happened. A big move here for the Atlanta Braves.
Hmm.
Making a move finally
For a pitcher, you
for
say?
a starting pitcher. One that, if this was 2018, I would be jumping up and down. But the Braves acquired Chris Sale and $17 million from the Red Sox for Vaughn Grissom. Good Lord, am I glad to have him gone.
I think it's like one of those things like you gotta have a risk for a reward.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, just think about it. If we get a fully healthy Chris Sale, fuck am I happy.
yeah.
But let's be honest, there was no room here for Vaughn Grissom.
Nope, nope.
His career his,
We've got
his
a
career was just
shortstop in
not.
the minors that's coming up quick. We've got Orlando right now. There was going to be no way for Vaughn Grissom to get at bats in this lineup.
Yeah. His only shot was gonna be to play left field, but I don't want
Yeah,
him.
I don't either.
But dude, I'm at one of those spots where it's like I can't give you an answer if I'm
Yeah,
happy or not
I
until
got to see
spring
it.
training
I got to see him
until
pitch.
spring training comes along.
No, I need to see him pitch for 2 months and not get hurt. Real games.
Honestly, I'm chilling with the 17 million straight up for Von Grissom. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, well, the problem is that so like they sent that money, so like and I think he's owed 25 a year, but also 10 million of his salary this coming year is deferred till like 2039 or something ridiculous. The Red Sox pulled a Shohei on Chris Sale, and deferred all of his money down the road. So
Yeah, we're paying Chris Sale like
yeah, I have a feeling Chris Sale's probably just going to retire with the Braves, within the next couple of years.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, if he wants to
If
pitch
he
well, he can stay.
if he helps us get a ring,
Yeah,
I'm
because like
chilling.
the reality of it is if he can stay healthy, he doesn't even have to pitch like a number one. Because that's what he's had to
No,
do in
yeah,
Chicago and in Boston. He had to pitch like a number one. He just has to pitch like a 3 or 4.
I was gonna say, or dude, he can honestly pitch like a 5. I'm
Yeah,
chilling
yeah, for real. Like
because
if he wants to pitch, honestly, if he just pitches just as good as Charlie Morton, have at it, dude.
yeah,
Because we got Max Fried, we got Spencer Strider, we've got Bryce Elder, and then of course Morton. So,
as long as his slider's sliding, I'm
oh
chilling.
man, that slider. There's gonna be some times. There's gonna be some times where I get real excited about this.
Oh, we're definitely gonna go watch him play in person. He's a pitcher I've always wanted to see
Me
pitch.
too.
I'm gonna pay the money right behind home plate. I
Yeah.
want to see what that ball looks like in person.
You want to see what Chris Sale's balls look like in person?
Absolutely.
Okay. Next, Blue Jays making some signings. One that I predicted, Kevin Kiermaier returning. I said it literally on when we recorded on Monday, Podcast episode comes out Tuesday, midday Tuesday. Kevin Kiermaier to the Blue Jays. And they also signed Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to a 1-year
I like
deal.
that.
Yeah, I
I
don't
like
hate it.
that.
Super utility. So definitely can't hurt. They address center field. They address a utility spot. He can start at second. He can start in the outfield. He can really do anything. So Falefa, or Kiner-Falefa, fantastic
Yeah,
pickup.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah, not much to add to that one. Kind of boring. Next pickup, a little bit of discussion to be had. Red Sox signed Lucas Giolito on a 2-year deal. They do this before the sale trade, but I I just don't know about this. I don't know about giving Giolito 2 years. That's my thing.
He is horrible.
No, he's a 1-year prove it deal guy for sure.
Yeah.
He has
And
been abysmal.
so far it has been fuck you. You might not even last a year in
Yeah,
Boston.
yeah, no, he sucks.
I'm so glad the Braves did not go after him. Like, remember when we were talking about
Yeah, we
last
just kept
trade
saying, "Oh, we
deadline?
need to get somebody."
I'm so thankful we did
Yeah,
not get
me too.
him.
I definitely am. But I think this one is more of a good prove it deal to me.
Yeah.
This next one, the Reds signing Frankie Montas to a 1-year deal. We've never really seen him with like the opportunity to be like a good pitcher in a rotation. He was
No,
good with
he's
the
been
A's. He was decent with the Angels, right? He was with the Angels before he went to the Yankees, I think.
I think he just went straight from Oakland to
Maybe he did.
New York.
Could be wrong. Let's see.
Um, I think
Yeah, you're right. He went straight
yeah.
to New York. I don't know who I was thinking of that went. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Um, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of their closer. I don't remember his name though. They look. They have a similar shaped head, I believe.
Ah,
Um,
cool.
whatever.
I don't really
Side
care.
side side point. Yeah. So he got traded to the Yankees in 2022 and immediately got hurt. I'm pretty sure. No. He finished out the season, then got hurt. Um, and he got. I think he got hurt in the first game he played in 2023. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. He might have got hurt before the season and then played one late in the year. I don't remember. But he really just hasn't gotten the chance to do much. But like he's had like impressive years. Sixth in Cy Young voting in 2021 in the AL. Like he was a very good pitcher for a couple of years. This injury's kind of made him fall off the face of the earth. But I like the Reds as the team to take the gamble, give him a prove it deal, and just see if he can get something out of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially with the Reds. That's a good place to be right now.
Yeah.
They're young, they're having fun. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a great pickup for them this year.
I agree. The next one, though, a little more, a little bit of rumors rather than deals. The Blue Jays are showing interest in Jock Peterson. So they already pick up Kiermaier and Kiner-Falefa, now looking into a power bat in the outfield.
Want the pearls. Want the
So,
pearls in Toronto.
well, you got to make it to the playoffs first. Then you can get some pearls.
Yeah, I don't know about that Blue Jays team.
Yeah,
It's
definitely
kind of brutal.
question
But
mark.
that's interesting.
I wouldn't hate the pickup. I,
No, not
I
at
wouldn't.
all. I'm just trying to
The
picture
thing
him in a
is,
Blue
Jock
Jays jersey.
Peterson works on every team. He
Yeah.
a powerful lefty bat. You can throw him at DH. You can throw him in left field. Throw him in
I
right.
was gonna say
He'll
he
do
can
anything.
play defense.
Yeah, he plays decent defense too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I could have put any team's name there was showing interest in Jock Peterson. We would have both just been like, yeah.
Cool. Besides the Mets. Fuck the
Yeah,
Mets.
well, the Mets are interested in the next guy. And the Angels as well. The Mets and the Angels showing some interest in JD Martinez. Um,
Angels need a DH.
yeah, that's a good point. Why not? Just flip them. You
Just
get
flip him.
one of the best DHs in the NL to go to the AL. One of the best, well, the best DH in the AL goes to the NL. I don't know. Maybe it would be very funny for him and Shohei to just switch.
And then JD has the better year.
That's not gonna happen.
I would fucking love it.
Yeah, that would be crazy. If he wants to have a good year, he better not go to the Mets. I'll say that. Yeah, look, the Mets need everything. So, except I guess a first baseman, um, and a center fielder. I guess. I hate
Who the
Brandon
fuck?
Nimmo.
Who the fuck
I
knows
hate that
anymore?
guy and his stupid teeth.
Two guys I hate on the Mets: Brandon Nimmo. Fuck it, three: Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil.
Yeah. Go ahead, throw in Edwin Diaz.
Fuck you, Edwin Diaz.
Yeah. He
If
got hurt
you
all
have
year,
a
so
Me-
you forgot
if
about him.
you have a Mets logo on your jersey, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. Except Tom Glavine at the end of his career.
Yep.
Shout out Glav. All right, next Yankees, Rangers, and Dodgers showing interest in Josh Hader.
Oh, dude, you forgot Braves right there.
No, nope, no. I've actually come to terms with the fact that we're not getting Hader because he would cost so much money. We'd have to get rid of Iglesias or Minter.
Yeah. I'm chilling with it.
Yeah.
I kind of want him to re-sign with the Rangers.
Once again, didn't play for the Rangers. We actually talked about this last
Why
week.
why do I keep doing this?
You love the fact.
Bro.
Maybe you're thinking of Josh Spores.
No, dude, I don't know why I just
Jordan Montgomery.
dude, I'm sorry.
It's all
I
right.
would love for him to sign with the
For the
Rangers
first time ever in
for
his
the first
career.
time ever.
Yeah, look, I don't
Fuck.
want him on the Yankees. I don't want him on the Dodgers. Plain and simple.
And go to the AL. We'll see you in the World Series.
Yeah. The Giants interested in Snell, Bellinger, and Chapman. They're out here
Also,
hunting.
so they're trying to drop a bag. Is what
They're trying to drop
I'm
a
hearing.
bag. They had Shohei money,
Yeah.
and then it turned into Young Ho Lee money, and
Do we know
now
what
they're
Snell's
allocating.
asking for?
I don't know, but I'd assume it'd be somewhere in the Yamamoto numbers.
I was about to say 325 is
I
wild.
think, but the thing is that he's going to be going for much less years, more
Yeah.
average annual value. That's how I think it's going to go. So, like, he's going to be looking for like a cool 40 a year
Yeah.
on a shorter term deal. That's what
Yeah.
I think. I think that's what he's worth. But Belly asking for probably well over 200 for something relatively like middle length. And probably the same goes for Chapman. I don't think he's going to be looking for a long-term deal at this point in his career.
No, probably not. Chapman's just trying to get a ring, man.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
But no,
it's
that's
tough.
if they get all three,
If they get all three, that's
that's
insane. That's like a genuine like division shifter. Do they win the
yeah.
division? No.
'Cause they got that hitter from the KBO.
Yeah, Young Ho Lee.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. It could be huge. You get a third baseman, you get a first base slash outfield slash DH, you get a number one in the rotation. I think it'd be a huge, huge three signings for them. And they need something to make up for Judge and Correa the last 2
Yeah.
years. And Shohei. Real
Jesus.
tough on the
Fans
Giants the
fan,
last couple of years.
fans are getting antsy.
Yeah. All right. Final move to talk about rumor to talk about the Dodgers, Angels, and Red Sox showing interest in Teoscar Hernandez.
Cool.
Yeah, I think to me the Dodgers is not a fit.
No.
Angels makes the most sense to me. I think the Red Sox would probably be the most willing to sign. They need
Yeah.
the outfield help. They need hitters. I don't see why not.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. Fucking Michael Penix just threw the ball when he was like 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. Wait,
All
was he
right.
not? Was he? Are
Was
they
he
not
not?
calling it?
Was he not ahead of the line of scrimmage? Well, Colin, you got to remember, TV's not always right. The
Oh,
lines on the TV aren't always right. I
I
think
don't
it's well,
know.
your full body has to be passed. So I think his arm was still behind it. You see?
Dude, that's so
It
close.
is real close, but I think his arm was behind the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
All right, cool.
All right, let's get into some bowl games.
Fuck
How does that
yeah.
sound, Colin?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, now you're changing your tone. Well, the CFP games will come last in a separate segment. So we'll be starting with the games that happened the day after Christmas on Tuesday. Bowling Green, Minnesota. Minnesota wins 30-24. I have nothing to say about this game because I didn't watch it in the
Yeah,
Quick Lane Bowl.
I don't care about the Golden Gophers.
Yeah. Any good names? Abdul Fatih Ibrahim.
Yeah, that's a Pashawn Wimberly.
Nice. Evan Branch Haynes. Pashawn Wimberly is very good. I do like that. Joseph Sipp Jr. He
Yeah,
has to play for Mississippi State next year.
I like
Or
Cody
Mississippi.
Lindenberg.
It's not bad either. But if your last name's Sipp, you gotta play for the Sip.
You got to be a left-handed pitcher.
Maybe. We also had Texas State 45, Rice 21 in the Surf Pro First Responder Bowl. We got to see TJ Finley in action.
Yeah, cool. Who the fuck's TJ Finley? And don't say he's a quarterback for Texas State.
He
Just don't
is the
care.
quarterback for Texas State, and you should know who he is. Former Auburn Tiger, TJ Finley.
Oh fuck!
Former LSU Tiger before he was an Auburn Tiger, TJ Finley.
Yeah, that just shows you how irrelevant he be.
Yeah. 6'7" is ridiculous. 6'7", 255. And how?
That's
Okay, hold on. Question. He started college in 2020 with the LSU Tigers, okay?
yeah.
How the fuck is he a sophomore?
The red.
I would assume he redshirted and then played
Or
two seasons, but he played two
get a
seasons at Auburn.
you get a COVID year.
I don't know. I have no clue, but his classification is sophomore as of right now.
Dude, that is a
Very
great
weird.
question.
Very weird. But then again, TJ Finley's a weird guy. What's a good name here? Juma
Uh,
Ottaviano.
was that Jamil Jeter?
Not bad. Brother of Derek Jeter, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty young
Okay.
brother.
Fuck it. Luke McCaffrey,
Whoa.
related to Christian.
All right. Next game. An actually
Yeah.
decent game. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Kansas 49, UNLV 36. Kansas. Whoa. Jacob Bean had the weirdest performance ever. 19 for 28, 449 yards.
On 19 completions?
Yeah. 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Just
That's
ridiculous game. You had Luke Grimm, 3 touchdowns, 160 yards on 4 receptions, and you had Lawrence Arnold, 6 receptions, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns as well. Just ridiculous performances across the board. UNLV also some pretty crazy performances. But I'm more worried about the names. I'm going Marcel McDuffie.
okay.
I see a good one.
Yeah. I'll give it to you. I'm just gonna go with his brother Dylan McDuffie.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go for Taiwan Berryhill Jr.
Oh, I didn't even scroll to look at that.
Maybe Mello Dotson. OJ Burrows.
Those are some fire.
Some good names on that defense. All right. Let's get into the 27th. We had USC Trojans taking down the number 15 Louisville Cardinals 42-28 in the DirecTV Holiday Bowl. Caleb Williams didn't play. Miller Moss, 23 for 33, 372, 6 tuds, and an interception.
Yeah, maybe Caleb Williams was the problem.
Could be. I doubt it. But he could have been the problem. What just happened? Is that a touchdown? No, not a touchdown.
I didn't.
Still locked at 14-14, about to go into the half.
There's been some bad turnovers. I know,
yeah.
like Washington went for it on 4th and 1 and didn't get it.
Yeah. All right. Next game, the Tax Act Texas Bowl. Texas A&M and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State takes them down 31-23.
Ollie Gordon.
Yeah, Ollie Gordon's so fucking good, man.
So good.
Alan Bowman, a good game as well. 34 for 49. A lot of throws. 402. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks is pretty bad, but nonetheless, not bad.
You gotta watch this, Gray.
Oh my god.
You gotta watch.
What the fuck? Was that McMillan?
That was Polk.
Oh, again? Holy shit.
Tip drill.
Jesus. Brutal
That was
for
a
Texas.
bullet of a throw.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to run this one back. I know we've called him out before, but Moose Muhammad III for Texas A&M. Insane.
Let's. Damn, how many Collins do they have on their team? I'm gonna go Cody Waltersheed.
Nice. I was also looking at Kale Cabiness.
All right, give me Gabriel Brownlow Dindy.
That's strong. All right, next game, Virginia Tech 41, Tulane 20. Tough showing for Tulane. No.
They lost to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, no. What's his name? Michael Pratt, is that their starter? Yeah, no Michael Pratt. For Tulane, so really bad quarterback performance from Kai Horton, 13 for 20, only 119. And they didn't run the ball great. Mekhi Hughes had a good game though, 15 carries, 88 yards. Yeah, Virginia Tech put up 41 points somehow.
Yep.
Pretty
Yo,
interesting.
Keith Brown.
Ooh, that's a normal ass name.
Yo, Keith.
Oh, I didn't hear the beginning. All I heard was I thought you said I'm going Keith Brown.
No, Yo, Keith.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm seeing that one now. I'm gonna go Harrison Saint Germain.
Matthew Fobbs White.
What about Baishul Tootin?
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce this last name. Tulane defense player Cam Pedescleu.
Wait, what? Is it Tulane's defense?
Yeah. Pedescleu.
What's his name? Oh. It's probably Pedescalo.
Pedescleu.
Pedescalo.
Fire name. All right.
I don't know. It's some Cajun shit.
We're on to the next game.
Yep. Next game. West Virginia 30, North Carolina 10. Obviously no Drake May in this game, but still not a good one for the Tar Heels. West Virginia.
You just want to roll through the rest of them. Just give score updates till he gets to the good ones.
Nico Marshall for West Virginia.
Let's go.
Thursday, Arizona 38, Oklahoma 24. This one is actually a very good game. We're not going to go, talking about it or whatever, but Arizona putting up 17 points in the fourth quarter to win that game. And Jackson Arnold for Oklahoma, not the worst, but the 3 picks pretty costly. Let's see. Our next game is Kansas State 28, NC State 19. For the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the big story, of course, eating the Pop-Tart mascot. That was gruesome.
It was weird, man.
It was very weird.
I didn't like it.
I didn't either. So we'll move on to the next one. Boston College winning their bowl game over number 24 SMU 23-14. And then we had Rutgers beating up on Miami 31-24 in the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl at Yankees Stadium.
No, I was about to say ACC representing, but you have Miami losing, Boston College losing.
No, Boston College won. Boston College beat SMU.
Boston College won. I looked at NC State lost and UNC lost.
Yeah.
And Louisville lost.
Shout out Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Keeping us alive. Because Florida State can't.
That's what I say. We'll talk about
Friday. A shit game, but Missouri 14, Ohio State 3 in the Cotton Bowl. Cody Schrader doing his thing. 29 carries, 128 and a touchdown.
It's so good.
Yep.
What year is he?
I believe he's a senior because I know he's spent some time. Yeah, he's a senior.
Yeah. Dude, some team's going to get lucky with him.
Yeah. All right, next game, though. Notre Dame putting the beats on Oregon State. No DJ Uiagalelei, of course, because he's transferring to Florida State. Yeah.
How you feel about that, Greg?
We'll talk about that in the summer. When there's nothing else to talk about, I'll go on a rant. But Yeah, Notre Dame 40, Oregon State 8. No Sam Hartman either. No Audric Estime either. But they still put the beats on Oregon State. And then next game,
Clemson.
can't scroll fast enough. There we go. Yes, Clemson 38-35 over Kentucky. A big fourth quarter comeback. They put up 28 points in that fourth quarter. Devin Leary finally threw the fucking ball for Kentucky, and they still lost the game.
That's wild.
Yeah, and then in the Liberty Bowl, you had Memphis 36, Iowa State 26. Then we get into Saturday, the
Hold on,
day
hold on. I
before.
gotta look at
Sorry,
something.
go ahead.
Dude, so Abu Sama the third, 12 carries, 4 yards
What the fuck?
against Memphis.
What the fuck is that?
Like, I don't know. And then the quarterback had 8 carries for -4 yards.
Yeah, Rocco
So
Becht, not a runner.
technically 20 carries for 0 yards.
Wow. Well, Rocco Becht made it up in the air. 446 passing yards.
Yeah, but dude, that is insane.
Yeah, that was a interesting game. All right, let's move on to Saturday's games. The day before
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, we'll start off Ole Miss, Penn State. Ole Miss 38, Penn State 25. A huge victory for Ole Miss, big in the Peach Bowl. Judkins played well. Dart played amazing. The tight end, Priestcorn, also
Yeah.
fantastic game for him. Overall, loved what I saw from Ole Miss in that game.
Also, Judkins ran the ball 34 times.
Yeah, he just does that.
Like, that is insane.
Yeah, pretty average day for Quinshon Judkins. Um, I guess the next game, Auburn, Maryland. Was that the next one that happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, so how does Auburn lose to Maryland with no Talia?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know until Saturday, December 30th, that Auburn was even bowl eligible. Be 100% honest with you. Didn't know.
They just snuck in there 6-7.
Yeah.
Dude, they used who the fuck's Hank Brown?
I don't know.
He was 7 for 9 for 132 yards.
He looks like a dickhead. He's a true freshman. Go look at his picture.
He looks like
He's
a kid that would go to
Is he
Auburn.
a ginger?
Yeah, dude, he looks like an
Oh,
Auburn kid.
God. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Yeah, never show me that kid again. Get that kid off campus.
But dude, Billy Edwards Jr. doing work against the Auburn Tigers.
Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah. Georgia 63, Florida State 3. We had a bunch of guys sit out. I know they had a bunch of guys sit out too because of injury. Whatever. They weren't fucking starters.
They didn't have that many people sit out, did they?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's like, show the list. Show the list. I saw the fucking list of Georgia players. It was literally Ra Thomas and Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
That's it.
That's it. Because even
and,
Ladd
like,
played.
I think like one other guy, like Branson, whatever his name is, didn't play. You still had fucking Kendall Milton and Carson Beck. Like, that's enough for sure.
It is wild when you look at how many different people ran the ball for.
Yeah. No, it was an absolute fucking beatdown. I will say I respect Kirby Smart. Acknowledging the fact that all of our players sat out in his post-game press conference. Yeah, look, we had no fucking chance. Brock Glenn sucks cock. 100%. He is the worst. I hate him. The only thing that's good about DJ transferring in is that I won't have to watch Brock Glenn play football.
Or Tate.
Tate's okay, but he's transferring out.
Has it been announced where he's going yet?
No, but all I'm caring about right now is DJ Uwangale possibly being good, and Luke Cromenhoek will be on campus from St. Benedictine Military School in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that's a horrible late hit by Washington.
Didn't see it, but I see that there's a flag.
Quinn Ewers was sliding down, and the safety just lit him up.
Yeah. So yeah, in all seriousness, thank you Florida State for one of the most memorable seasons ever, and thank you to it's memorable for sure. A lot of things to remember, and We made history with this game. The biggest margin of defeat for Florida State in program history. Yeah. Yep.
Mm.
Tough. All right. Yeah. One more
We'll
game
be
from that
okay.
day, and it was the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl. Wyoming 16, Toledo 15. Shitter of a game. PFT commenter made a field goal in between quarters, bought himself an El Camino. Um, that's that's all that came out of this game. A lot of people, both the 2 years, this the final one they'll do, but in the 2 years they've done the Barstool Sports Bowl, people get so fucking pissed about Dave Portnoy and Big Cats commentating, just being like, they're not even like who, like why are they rooting for teams and like who are they like yelling, like what are they yelling about? Why do they just care about bets? All this shit, and it's like that's kind of the point of it being a Barstool Sports Bowl, is that they're just gonna talk about whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, that's why the two teams are literally Toledo and
Yeah,
Wyoming.
exactly. Last year was fucking Wyoming and Ohio.
Yeah, nobody important.
No, never. But you know what that means, Colin? It's time we talk about your game.
No, we gotta talk about the other ones.
What? Oh yeah, I
That's
forgot about that.
we gotta
Forgot
talk
there was
about
other games today. You know, that last game just really got me going.
yeah, Liberty
Oregon.
Liberty Liberty
Oh,
put up an effort. 45-6.
they put up a touchdown.
Didn't get the extra point though.
Nope. Yeah.
Bo Nix kind of showing why he's one of the top quarterbacks in this class.
Yeah. In Liberty, honestly, they got off to that hot start, and I was like, holy shit, they actually have a chance.
Yeah,
And then
they went to the second quarter with the lead.
yeah, yeah, and then Oregon
And
put up
then
28 in the second quarter.
yeah, Bucky Irving 14 carries, 117 yards and a touchdown. There's no reason they should have
No, they
been in the
shouldn't.
game
They
for
didn't
that
have to
long.
play. Yeah, that was
It-
brutal.
yeah. And then you got LSU sneaking out a win against Wisconsin.
Barely. Wisconsin looked real fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Mordecai looked pretty solid.
Yeah. He was a fantastic transfer in the off season. He came from SMU, I believe.
Yeah. And then Tennessee scratching Iowa
Barely.
35
Barely
30
35-0. I'm glad to have seen Nico
Mama
I always mess this up. I know how to
Mama
say it.
Leva.
No, it's Yamaliava, I think. But
Uh,
I always mess it up. I've heard people say it a million times. I still can't get it. He didn't really do all that much.
he
They
had
ran the
he,
ball a lot. So
he had 3 rushing touchdowns.
yeah, yeah. But
Pretty
yeah,
solid.
passing wise, he's got a beautiful spiral. Um, the Hawkeyes, they got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Did Cooper sit out?
I believe so.
Yeah. I can
Probably a
see.
smart move. Cooper
All right.
DeJean. Oh wait, how did Texas score a touchdown?
They just ran the ball.
Okay. So Texas scored a touchdown. It's 21-21.
Basically, they're just
About
like
to go to the
matching
half.
each other.
Yeah, this is going to be a fucking fantastic game. This one might go to overtime too.
I hope so.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But it's time. It's time we do it. We'll just go ahead and get it out of the way, Colin.
Yep. Oh man,
Rip off the
dude.
Band-Aid. It's time to talk
You're
about the college football playoff semifinal games, and we just updated you on the Sugar Bowl. So why don't we go ahead and during halftime of this game, which then again we're gonna be fucking done by the end of halftime. But Alabama 20, Michigan 27 in overtime. What do you want to talk about first? Are we going to talk about how Michigan's pass rush in the first half was really good, getting in front of Milroe, bringing the heat to the sides after they forced him out of the pocket, kind
well,
of
well,
stopping his ability to climb the pocket, show off his athleticism? Is that a
nah,
good point?
nah. The first thing we're gonna talk about is Seth motherfucking McLaughlin. Your center for Alabama Crimson Tide.
I believe
Who
it was five bad snaps.
yeah, honestly, that's a low for him.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I don't know what class you are. I don't really care.
I'll find it.
But
Don't worry.
come next semester, if you are not a senior, you will not be on the football team. You won't even be on the practice squad. You'll be playing at some bummy ass school.
Mr. Seth McLaughlin is a senior for Buford, Georgia. Played at Buford High School.
Cool. Get him the fuck out of here. You're telling me we didn't have we didn't have a second string
Oh,
center to throw in there to try to make it better, or just use our long snapper for.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
cool
sure
with that.
Michigan would have given you their long snapper.
Yeah, dude, yeah, dude. It's just like this shit has happened
Yeah. And you
all
never
year.
addressed it.
Never.
And it bit you in the
We
ass.
fucking Jalen Milrow basically has to play catcher receiving a football.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And it didn't
But
help that that's how they ended their season. A bad snap, hit
yeah,
off the
dude,
ground, and Jalen
Jalen Milrow
Milrow
tried to
just
be
like,
Superman from
yeah.
like the 4 yard line.
He was never going to get that far. That was
Yeah, no,
ridiculous.
listen, at that point, fourth down, you just got to throw the ball up at the end
Yeah.
zone. Pray, give your receivers a chance.
Yeah.
Like Jermaine Burton had just gotten hurt. You go to your guy Isaiah Bond. He's saved you before. Go to the corner of the end zones and just pray that it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Michigan's defense, holy fuck.
Their defense fucking for real.
Yeah, dude. Who is it? So Junior Colson missed a couple of I know one drive for certain, and because he was in the medical tent with no pads on and everything like that. But then he came back and absolutely tore up Alabama. Mason Graham, a dog. McGregor, 2 sacks. Chris Jenkins, a sack. Derek Morris sacked. Dude, it was just horrible to watch. Like
Yeah.
the play calls were horrible for once. So when you look at it, so Michigan had a month to prepare, and they basically did two things. No matter what is going on, you leave a spy for Jalen Milrow. And number two, they just played soft coverage on the wide receivers, accepted the short check downs, and then just collapsed on them. They were
Yeah.
not going to get beat on the deep threat,
Yeah,
which
look,
is
their game plan coming into this game was fantastic.
yeah.
Defensively, offensively, they were doing the right things. Feed Corum, throw the ball over the middle, and make them do something about it. They made Alabama do something about it. A lot of times they didn't. Michigan fell flat on a bunch of special teams errors, but ultimately they could have won this game by the start of the fourth quarter. They could have had this game won by the start of the fourth quarter if they didn't fuck up so many times. You get the fumbled punt return that Alabama gets back. You get the fucked up long snap on the PAT that they have to jump on. Then later in the game, Alabama makes a mistake on the punt return, and it knocks off one of their players' legs. Luckily, your returner was smart enough to jump on top of the ball and keep it.
Caleb Downs.
Yeah. But too bad Milrow fucked it up like 2-3 plays later.
Yeah.
Gave it right back to Michigan. But then Michigan tries to set themselves up. They've got great field position. Shanked. 49-yard fucking field goal. Shanked it left. And it was kind of a bad snap, bad hold. Kind of threw off the momentum or the rhythm for the kicker. Fucked up his kick. He misses that. Once again, no points on the board again for Michigan. And they just kept fucking up over and over and over again on special teams, and they really tried to fuck it up on the last drive of the game. Alabama gets forced to punt on 4th and 4. They punt it down. A great punt. Puts him about the 5. Michigan guy doesn't actually fucking catch it. Has to pick it up, tries to get forward, gets enough forward momentum as he gets the ball to stay at the 1-yard line and avoid a game-losing, season-ending safety. And luckily,
I would have cried.
Michigan pulls it out. But like the amount of times they could have won that game was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It was. Yeah. So Jalen Milrow looked just like he did when we played Texas.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like
it was a real good defense.
He was panicking. He didn't know what to do with the football
Yeah.
in pressure situations, and Michigan just didn't even give him time to breathe.
Yeah.
And our O line fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was bad.
That first half, it was horrible.
Yeah, but I will give Alabama the credit. In the second half, the adjustments they made on the offensive line and just the offensive play calling in general were amazing. You brought out a lot of designed runs for Milrow. He had 21 carries, I think. 21 carries for Milrow. 6 of those were sacks, so, whatever. But a lot of design runs for Milrow. and a lot of misdirection to counter the attack on Milrow in the pocket because they were trying to essentially collapse the pocket from the inside in the first half. And then that would allow your spy to get out wide and stop Milrow from creating something out wide and then force him to throw to the sideline where he really just looks so uncomfortable throwing. Like he always looks uncomfortable throwing to the sideline if he's on the run.
He kept trying to throw off his back foot,
Yeah.
and he get no power. I'm like, dude, someone's gonna jump that and take it to the house.
Yeah.
But like those quick passes to the sideline, they just don't work on the coverage that Michigan was doing.
Yeah. And they also don't work for a quarterback like Jaden Milrow.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You
Jalen
know,
Milrow.
when you throw the ball, a slant goes a long way when you have people like Isaiah Bond, uh, Amari Black,
Yeah.
Jermaine Burton, bro. Slant king. That's what dude, Roman Wilson killed us on slants.
Yeah.
Kyler
Roman
Morris
Wilson
killed
came
us.
up big in a lot of big spots.
Yeah, that last drive. And also, Blake Corum got his first receiving touchdown of the season
Yeah.
today. But also, do we just not worry about him as a receiver? So when he goes out to the flat, no one's around him.
Yeah. Because, like, I will say the play design on his touchdown was amazing.
Yeah,
Everybody,
I'm not talking about that one.
I know,
I'm not
but
talking about that.
everybody blocked right because
Yeah.
in Alabama, full committed to the right, and it literally opened up a hole for Blake Corum to just run straight through and for JJ to just drop it into him.
But also on those, like communication between the defense, between the linebackers,
Yeah.
and corners were horrible. Like one guy would point at him, nobody would even just look.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. And like it's just like that thing is like, hey, you go cover him. No, I'm good. But fuck. No, I'm talking about that fourth and two play
Yeah.
where he runs for like 40 fucking yards. Actually, it was 27 yards,
Yeah.
but still. That is when I knew we were gonna probably lose this.
Yeah. Yeah. It
But
was interesting. Um,
Michigan deserved
yeah. I was gonna get to that, how you said that.
it. Okay. Yep, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, you said that Michigan deserved it. Um, and that was going kind of like right after they scored that touchdown in overtime. You said that to me. I kind of want to know where your head was at with that. Like what ways did they deserve it at that point in the game over Bama?
So, number 1, they were much more prepared with that
Yeah.
sort of month to
Okay.
prepare. Like, we had a month to prepare for Blake Corum and JJ McCarthy.
And Roman Wilson.
That well, if you contain JJ McCarthy, you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
fair
Roman
enough.
Wilson.
But you probably should have contained Roman Wilson.
We basically did until that last drive.
No, but the thing was is that they were finding him in the important times. You
Yeah.
get like a big third down conversion, I think, in the first half with Roman Wilson coming across. A lot of motion for Roman Wilson in this offense. He just moves around very well, and it just seemed like nobody was pulling to him. Every single
Yeah.
time they put him in motion, it totally fucked everything up for you guys.
Yeah, because I know he had 2 catches on the last drive.
Yeah.
I know that, and he only had 4 total in the game. But it's just like Blake Horn finished the game 19 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. And then also in receiving 2 receptions, 35 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's just like Michigan came out and just they were the better team.
Yeah.
Like both sides of the ball. There's the only side it was special teams. We were much better than them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
their true freshmen just the ball kept going to the light.
Yeah.
You just couldn't see.
It was brutal. So I do want to ask you this. Is there like a particular person on Alabama, coaching, player, whatever, that you kind of are the fault, like should take the fall?
Um
Or even just a couple of guys?
so on in this game, the offense deserves the majority of the blame
Yeah.
when you look
I
at it.
think the
Um,
passing game
yes,
deserves the most of
pat
the blame.
passing game
And obviously
play
the
call.
center.
Yeah, no, the center gets
The center
probably
gets the loss.
he gets 75% of the blame.
Okay.
Milrow, I'm probably gonna give him like 15%. O line, I'll give them 5%. They did what they
Yeah.
could. That D line was just too good.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the play calling was just
So
so
Tommy
bad.
Reese.
Tommy Reese. It's just
Yeah, I think
that's the way I like the defense did everything they could. The communication was just not there. But like they stepped up and they made plays to keep them in this game.
yeah. I,
Um
to me, I think obviously blame goes to the center who sucked.
mhm.
Um, a little bit to Milrow, but he didn't have the opportunity to throw all that much. He only threw
Yeah,
23 passes and 16 for 23. Um, obviously he has a willingness to run, which is
yeah,
a problem sometimes, but not all that bad considering he got sacked 6 times. He still had 63 yards. But
yeah.
I think a
You
lot
did
of it to me goes on Tommy Reese and the play calling
yeah,
because Tommy Reese, which me and Brock talked about endlessly when they hired him, Tommy Reese is a quarterback guy. He's a passing game guy from Notre Dame.
not meant for Jalen Milrow.
Doesn't work for Jalen Milrow. And the play designs he has kind of work for Jalen Milrow because he likes to air it out, and you did none of it in this game. It
I was about to say,
literally the
please.
second they stepped on the field as an offense, they saw how Michigan lined up, and Tommy Reese shit himself.
Yeah. He
Like,
saw the soft coverage,
yeah,
with the safeties back there hawking, basically not allowing a deep threat.
yeah, and it
Like,
killed them. It
yeah,
killed them. And
it's
then
just
I love that they made the adjustments in the second half and changed things up a little bit. But you gotta pass the ball more at that point in time. Yes, you're only down by 3 points going into the second half. You just you give yourself a better chance to move down the field, create momentum when you're not trying to pull some tricky bullshit with Jace McClellan or Jalen Milrow.
yeah, well, here's the thing, we also why did Jam Miller only get 1 carry?
Yeah,
Why did Kendrick Law only get 1 reception? Amari Niblack 1 reception. Like, and Roydell Williams only got 1 carry.
yeah.
Like, granted, Jace McClellan ran the ball really well
Yeah, I give him
today,
all the props. He was the best player, probably individually, for Alabama in this whole game.
but you need to use, like, Jam and Roydell. Roydell needed to be in there. I thought we almost needed to run, like, a 2 running back setup,
Yeah.
to use for blocking if we weren't gonna throw an extra tight end on there because it was brutal.
Hmm.
And Roy Dell's probably one of our best blocking running backs,
Yeah.
and you can use Jam Miller for more screens, um, just sort of hook routes up the middle just to get that check down.
Yeah.
Like 5 yard check down, do that twice. You got a quick, easy first down. But it's just like we would get in a groove and like we'd play that up tempo. Why not just take a shot?
Yeah.
Defense can't get set,
That's the issue.
air it out.
Like you get that momentum going. That's when you get a defense on their toes. And instead of going for something deep or going for like a flashy pass play, they just like run it up the middle with Jace McClellan. He gets stuffed and it's dead. I don't get that part. I know you wanted to talk about Deontay Lawson and those two deflections.
Should have been three, but the two deflect.
Well,
That
no,
man
one of
was
them technically was a deflection.
yeah, dude. He
It
was
just
all over
didn't
the.
change the course of the ball.
It didn't
That
hardly
was mind
affect the
blowing.
ball. Yeah, 'cause he
Insane.
got he got almost a full hand
And
on
what's
that ball.
even crazier is that I don't remember who came underneath. I think it was Moore.
Malachi
Yeah,
Moore.
Malachi Moore came underneath. If he didn't tip that ball, Malachi Moore probably gets his fingertip on it on that jump,
Mhm.
which is tough. Real tough.
Yeah, or if
'Cause
it's an inch higher,
yeah.
fucking Caleb Downs is right behind him for the pick.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Like,
it
it's
seemed
just
like it
like
seemed like Caleb Downs didn't even see that the ball was coming that way until Malachi Moore was in the air.
yeah, well, because that was Malachi's guy the whole way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's what they did. They did a slant over the middle, and Malachi got stuck behind because they ran like a triple slant, 2
Yeah.
slanted this way, and Roman Wilson came this way. Malachi Moore got stuck behind the other 2 receivers,
Yep.
left Roman Wilson open for a little bit, and he could never get back in front. So, it's unfortunate. I honestly think Michigan's defense could win them this whole thing.
I definitely agree. And JJ McCarthy had a good performance. I know we haven't really talked about single game performances for Michigan, but JJ McCarthy was the MVP of this game, which I kind of agree. Blake Corum, scored some big touchdowns, had some big plays throughout the game. But I get JJ McCarthy being the one that took it because then again, like Michigan's running attack was not the driving force here.
No,
Um,
not until overtime.
yeah, not
Like,
until
Blake
overtime.
Corum only had, like, 54 yards going into overtime
Yeah,
on 17 carries.
yeah. But JJ 17 for 27, 221, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He had a great game. You definitely can't take that away from him. On the defense, Braden McGregor had 2 sacks. Josiah Stewart and Michael Barrett had a sack. We kind of already talked about that kind of stuff. But Junior Colson also had a very good game for Michigan as well. But overall, yeah, I definitely agree. Michigan deserved to win this game. They had so many opportunities in regulation to win it. But
And they were playing for something.
yeah, I
They
agree.
were playing for their coach. They
Yeah. Their coach ain't
Alabama just
fucking staying though.
no, they're not. He's not. But it's like Alabama just came out and just like they thought they were gonna it was gonna be a
Yeah.
cakewalk. Honestly.
That's the thing is that to me, Alabama, it always seems like the teams that lose early, like the teams that lose these kind of games, are the ones that almost don't like they feel like they already deserved to be there. Nobody should ever feel like they deserve to be in the college football playoff game. And I think that Michigan and Harbaugh and just that whole coaching staff has that mindset and has instilled that in this team. I just think there's too many new guys around in Alabama, at least, new starters. Guys, yeah, they've been there, but
So
um,
young.
yeah,
So
it's a
young
young
too.
team. It is.
And this team, and I know me, you, and Brock used to talk about it a lot. It's just there's just no discipline, man.
Yep.
No
There's nothing.
discipline. There were so many just costly penalties that would just kill momentum, and
Yeah.
that's not who Alabama is. But
Yeah.
it's all right. Nick Saban's gonna get them right. We have a great recruiting class. Got a bunch of talented freshmen coming in.
So you
It's
still
next
happy with Milrow going into next year?
Yeah, I'm still for
Yeah.
what we have, I'm down to ride with Milrow.
Yeah. And obviously, it was Tyler Buckner that's playing lacrosse, right?
Yeah,
That's so weird. Um,
that kid's a fucking joke.
yeah, he is. Um, yeah,
Be all right.
season's over. It's tough.
That just means we're
Okay, so now I'm
it's
going to
much
be
closer.
selfish real quick. What difference would it have made if Florida State played this game? Michigan still won.
Yeah, yeah. The difference is it might have been like honestly, it's probably um
Well, because think like we
20,
still would have
20,
had starters other than the
tw-
quarterback.
21-10 maybe.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's right. Because Rodemaker would have started, so at least I would have been confident that we could throw the ball a little bit.
And I think y'all's touchdown would have came on a defensive touchdown,
Probably.
but I think y'all would have held him. Y'all would have contained the running game a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would have been like a true like defensive matchup.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree. But look, it didn't happen, so it doesn't matter. I guess we'll just kind of give you the update because we're not going to sit here and fucking wait on this
Yeah.
long ass halftime. Um, so right now it's 21-21 Longhorns and Huskies at the half. Quinn Ewers isn't doing that much. Michael Penix is the guy to talk about here. 11 for 14, 255 and a touchdown. And then on the ground,
250.
Dylan Johnson. Wow.
Yeah.
13 carries, 30 yards, but he's got the 2 touchdowns for him because Penix keeps putting him in the area, along with some great yards after the catch from Polk and Adunze, for that matter. Yeah, this has been one hell of a performance. You look at Texas's side and you're like, how the fuck are they tied? Quinn Ewers, 9 for 18, 97 yards, no touchdowns. But CJ Baxter has one on the ground. Jaden Blue has one on the ground, and Byron Murphy as well.
Yeah. And Washington just had a costly fumble
Yeah.
there late. That's really about it.
Yeah, not too much has happened. CJ Baxter has the longest reception of the night for Texas, 31 yards, and Jalen Polk going nuclear. Nuclear.
Yeah, 77 is his long.
Yeah, with 2 receptions, 106, and that touchdown, and then a Dunze, a long of 52, and 4 receptions for 84 yards for him. Um,
We need to see McMillan get active here.
yeah,
He's
definitely.
got 1 catch for 3
He
yards.
also has a pass attempt, which is kind of weird. Also, Jalen
Hmm.
McMillan has been injured for a majority of the season,
Yeah.
so kind of tough.
Also, where's AD Mitchell?
It's a fantastic point. Xavier Worthy only has 1 reception for 7 yards.
Yeah, Quinn.
Figure it out, bro. Arch is waiting. You know the media wants him. You saw that picture. That picture's fucking hilarious. Quinn Ewers looking back while he's at the podium, just a crowd of people around Arch Manning.
Dude, I just made the biggest mistake of my life. I just banged on my desk, and I'm dog sitting for my sister, and he's going crazy right now outside the
Nice.
room.
Well, we can't hear it on the headset, so
Yeah,
that's nice. We might hear your dad on the headset yelling at you.
the
Shut the
fuck up.
fuck up. But yeah, that's the update there. Colin, why don't we let these people start off their year with a hot take? How does that sound?
Yeah, I'll let you start it off. New
Okay.
year,
Yeah.
you got it.
All right. The Bills will beat the Dolphins next week and take the division.
Mm.
I feel pretty good about the Bills. This momentum has been insanely
E-
good. I know they,
Even with that shaky win
yeah.
over New England,
Look, special
is it
teams is Bill Belichick's specialty.
is it in Buffalo or Miami?
I should probably check that. It's in Miami. Don't care.
Okay.
Don't care.
Well,
Buffalo opening up as the favorite.
mm,
Look at that. Look at that. Telling you, this is
well,
the Bills
you
game to
know,
win right here.
cool.
Just in case you're wondering, DeMar Hamlin's questionable. Dude, I swear, Joe Flacco's got to be comeback player of the year. He's
Right?
got to win the DeMar Hamlin comeback player of the year award.
Fuck it, dude. Yeah,
Dude, I
Joe
swear,
Flack.
they should 100% name that award after DeMar Hamlin. He doesn't deserve it this year.
There's the hot take of the episode.
Yep, there it is.
Damar Hamlin.
DeMar
I'm taking
Hamlin
it. Damar Hamlin
can have
does
the
not.
award. He can have the name on the award. He does not
Yep,
get it this year. He played,
nope.
what, 2 snaps? And he gave up a touchdown or something?
2 snaps, 2 flags.
Yeah, that's what it is. 2 snaps, 2 flags. That is
But
fucking dog shit.
and then Baker blew his chance at it.
Yeah. Flacco,
Yeah,
don't sleep
it's.
on Lamar either. Lamar missed a lot of last season. Um,
I mean, you could also make a statement for Dak.
yeah. A lot of guys that I like a whole lot more than DeMar Hamlin for the award.
You could make a statement for Stafford.
Yep. Stafford definitely make a statement for Stafford.
Like it's like if we're doing
David
people that were.
Njoku got his
Yeah.
whole body burned this year. It's just lighting it up. No pun intended.
Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah, dude,
second half getting started in
yeah.
Texas, Washington.
That's a great way to look at it.
Okay, so yeah, that's 2 hot takes.
Yeah, I'm
Bills win the
claiming that
division,
hot take,
and DeMar Hamlin gets the award named after him, but
but
does
does
not
not
win it.
win it.
I think then again, he could win it next year.
Yeah, he
It's
can
not
win
like
it.
it had to be the year after he died on the field.
Let him have a pick six next year, and I'll give it to him.
Yeah. All right. What's your hot take?
Hot take.
What's your hot take?
I told you.
What?
We just talked about it.
What did you say?
What about Matthew Stafford winning comeback player of the year?
Oh, that was your hot take. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. That was
Come on,
gonna be my
you can get something else.
okay.
You
Fine.
got something else.
Lamar Jackson. It's no longer a quarterback trophy for MVP.
You saying Lamar's not a quarterback? Or are you
No,
saying that
it
Tyreek
the
Hill or Christian
MVP,
McCaffrey's winning?
the MVP is going to a position player that's not quarterback.
Nah, it's gonna be Lamar.
Nah, not after this game that Tyreek's about to have against the Bills.
Shut up.
I'm talking about it's about to be bigger than
Okay,
fucking
well,
CeeDee Lamb.
look, if I'll give Tyreek the MVP if
Yep.
He gets the
when he brings
200. He needs 283 yards.
that's cool. He's gonna break 300 this week.
I don't. I don't think so.
Bro, could you imagine?
I don't think so. Not
Yeah,
if DeMar
but
Hamlin's in that game. Nah, but for
yeah,
real,
because
Rasul
he's just
Douglas.
he's just gonna commit pass interference on every time.
He won't get any yards.
Ah,
All right.
dude, Roma Dunze's about to just go off.
Yeah.
I could feel it.
Colin, before we leave, any New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, be happy.
That's
We're
a
gonna be at. We're gonna be
weird
happy.
thing. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a traditional resolution.
Well, we're not off to a great start. Let me
Okay.
tell you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think I'm gonna watch more sports. Like I don't do that enough.
You watch enough sports.
Nah. No. What?
Oh, here's a New Year resolution. I'm gonna get more sleep.
Yeah. I like that. I've been getting so instead like I'm not getting more sleep, but I'm getting healthier sleep. So I
Yeah.
switched melatonins. I don't know why I'm saying this on the episode. I switched melatonins. Figured out the old one I had was like an extended release one, so it made me sleep
Yeah.
way too long. So like I'd take it about 11:30, hop in bed at
Late.
12,
Late.
not fall asleep until like 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then I'd wake up at like 11.
Yeah, it's a fucked up sleep schedule.
Yeah, it was fucked. So got this new melatonin. Shit kicks in mad quick. Like the other night, I took it at 11:30. I was dead asleep by 12.
You know, I have something that works better than melatonin.
Nope.
NyQuil.
Nope. I don't need NyQuil, so I shouldn't take it.
You sound a little stuffy.
No, I don't. I don't get sick. So
He's
yeah,
feeding the
switched this
Keelan now.
melatonin. Got a perfect 8 hours. Woke up natural, no alarm.
Damn.
It was amazing. It was fantastic. So my New Year's resolution is to keep taking this melatonin. This is really good. It's also vegan. I'm not going
He,
vegan though. All right. Well, I have a New Year's resolution for you. All of you
yep.
people out there right now.
Thought
You're
you were
going to
talking to me.
like, subscribe. You too. Go ahead and do it. Pull out your phone, like,
Okay.
subscribe, comment, and turn on post notifications for Second and Short. And then on the podcast platforms, rate 5 stars, leave a written review, and follow us on the podcast platforms. And then go to all these little Instagrams, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, all of them, and follow
Tic
us.
Tac.
Yeah. And then go to the Reddit, Second and Short, 2ND, 8ND, Short on Reddit, and submit your questions for questions time. We need them by midday on Thursday. That's when we record. So we need those questions in on Reddit by Thursday to be included in the episode. Guys, I hope you guys had a wonderful 2023, and I hope we all have a wonderful 2024. And with that, we start a new year of Second and Short, a new year of life. And I turned 21 in a month and a half. We'll see you guys on Friday. Colin will see you
Yeah.
guys next week. Peace.
Later.